Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck. Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck.
...2016 victory at Lee Leopards. That's all for now, we'll have more later. Latest sports news on Sunday, I'm Aidan Perkins. We'll start with football. And just a day after losing the FA Cup final to Manchester City 1-0 at Wembley, Chelsea are closing in on the appointment of Xabi Alonso as their new manager. The appointment of the former Real Madrid and Bayer Leverkusen boss is expected to come in the next few days, and he's set to be unveiled in pre-season with his contract set to begin on July the 1st. This after Chelsea lost the FA Cup final at Wembley on Saturday. Antoine Semenyo's delightful back heel giving City the cup once again. On Sunday, the attention turns to the Premier League with 6 games taking place. Manchester United host Nottingham Forest at 12:30. It's Brentford Palace at 3, along with Everton, Sunderland and Leeds Brighton. Wolves entertain Fulham at 3 as well. While the big game at the bottom, as West Ham look for points in their survival battle when they go to Newcastle. That's a 5:30 kickoff. Moving on to golf, Alex Smalley is on 6 under par and leads by 2 shots after the third round of the US PGA Championship, the latest major. A superb 66 left Rory McIlroy 3 shots back after the third round, while Ludwig Aberg and John Rahm were 2 shots off the lead heading into the final round. In tennis, Alina Svitolina has won a third Italian Open title, beating Coco Gauff 6-4, 6-7, 6-2, while Yannick Sinner is into his home Italian Open final after a 6-2, 5-7, 6-4 win over Daniil Medvedev. In mixed martial arts, Ronda Rousey submitted Gina Carano inside 15 seconds in their much anticipated comeback fight. The 39-year-old returning to the MMA after 10 years, won her 13th of 15 fights via the win coming via an arm bar submission. Meanwhile, UFC CEO Dana White has announced that Conor McGregor is to return for a rematch against Max Holloway in the UFC 329 main event on July the 11th in Las Vegas. Well, finally, in the Betfred Super League, Toby King scored 2 tries as Warrington Wolves won 24-16 at Toulouse, while Hull KR held firm to claim a 2016 victory at Lee Leopards. That's all for now, we'll have more later. Latest sports news on Sunday, I'm Aidan Perkins. We'll start with football. And just a day after losing the FA Cup final to Manchester City 1-0 at Wembley, Chelsea are closing in on the appointment of Xabi Alonso as their new manager. The appointment of the former Real Madrid and Bayer Leverkusen boss is expected to come in the next few days, and he's set to be unveiled in pre-season with his contract set to begin on July the 1st. This after Chelsea lost the FA Cup final at Wembley on Saturday. Antoine Semenyo's delightful back heel giving City the cup once again. On Sunday, the attention turns to the Premier League with 6 games taking place. Manchester United host Nottingham Forest at 12:30. It's Brentford Palace at 3, along with Everton, Sunderland and Leeds Brighton. Wolves entertain Fulham at 3 as well, while the big game at the bottom, as West Ham look for points in their survival battle when they go to Newcastle. That's a 5:30 kickoff. Moving on to golf, Alex Smalley is on 6 under par and leads by 2 shots after the third round of the US PGA Championship, the latest major. A superb 66 left Rory McIlroy 3 shots back after the third round, while Ludwig Aberg and Jon Rahm were 2 shots off the lead heading into the final round. In tennis, Alina Svitolina has won a third Italian Open title, beating Coco Gauff 6-4, 6-7, 6-2, while Yannick Sinner is into his home Italian Open final after a 6-2, 5-7, 6-4 win over Daniil Medvedev. In mixed martial arts, Ronda Rousey submitted Gina Carano inside 15 seconds in their much anticipated comeback fight. The 39-year-old returning to the MMA after 10 years won her 13th of 15 fights via the win coming via an arm bar submission. Meanwhile, UFC CEO Dana White has announced that Conor McGregor is to return for a rematch against Max Holloway in the UFC 329 main event on July the 11th in Las Vegas. Well, finally, in the Betfred Super League, Toby King scored 2 tries as Warrington Wolves won 24-16 at Toulouse, while Hull KR held firm to claim a 2016 victory at Lee Leopards. That's all for now. We'll have more later. Latest sports news on Sunday. I'm Aidan Perkins. We'll start with football. And just a day after losing the FA Cup final to Manchester City 1-0 at Wembley, Chelsea are closing in on the appointment of Xabi Alonso as their new manager. The appointment of the former Real Madrid and Bayer Leverkusen boss is expected to come in the next few days, and he's set to be unveiled in pre-season with his contract set to begin on July the 1st. This after Chelsea lost the FA Cup final at Wembley on Saturday. Antoine Semenyo's delightful back heel giving City the Cup once again. On Sunday, the attention turns to the Premier League with 6 games taking place. Manchester United host Nottingham Forest at 12:30. It's Brentford Palace at 3, along with Everton, Sunderland and Leeds Brighton. Wolves entertain Fulham at 3 as well, while the big game at the bottom as West Ham look for points in their survival battle when they go to Newcastle. That's a 5:30 kickoff. Moving on to golf, Alex Smalley is on 6 under par and leads by 2 shots after the third round of the US PGA Championship, the latest major. A superb 66 left Rory McIlroy 3 shots back after the third round, while Ludwig Aberg and Jon Rahm were 2 shots off the lead heading into the final round. In tennis, Alina Svitolina has won a third Italian Open title, beating Coco Gauff 6-4, 6-7, 6-2, while Yannick Sinner is into his home Italian Open final after a 6-2, 5-7, 6-4 win over Daniil Medvedev. In mixed martial arts, Ronda Rousey submitted Gina Carano inside 15 seconds in their much anticipated 39-year-old returning to the MMA after 10 years.
This time, and it's a corner on the left for Dundee. It's going to be swung in right-footed. Nobody's at the near post really for the Dark Blues. Maybe they'll make a late run. No, it's gone deep to the far post. A free header clear. Milne it was, and then he suggests that he should have got the shout because he's probably heading that on the goal line at the edge of the 6-yard box, and he could have easily left it.
If he'd left it, it would have gone out for a goal kick. I mean, who knows if he got a shout? Maybe it was a shout, maybe it was too late. He just did the typical defender thing of playing it safe, and now it's another corner for Dundee.
In towards the near post this time, headed to the edge of the box, right shot, deflected by Olasanya, falls kindly for Aberdeen. Now there's a counter on as Nisbet brings it clear into the centre circle, feeds it out to Olasanya. I think he overhit that pass. He's about 10 yards away, but it's kind of gone through a sprinting Olasanya. Might not have been inch perfect. Cometio does really well to turn away from Kjartansson, because I don't think he wanted that pass. That was risky from Wright playing it into him. Aberdeen were trying to force an error and taking no chances at all. Again, after a pass back, pass out from O'Hara, Astley just sidefoots it into touch near the corner flag, effectively saying I didn't want it. And so it's an attacking throw for Aberdeen into the final minute of the regulation 45, but we're expecting a fair bit of stoppage time at the end of the first half. Well, 3 injuries, 2 looked relatively serious and 1 not so much. Long throw from the left, headed away. by Jones, back towards Malloy, who lets it bounce out of play for another throw in to Aberdeen. Trying to go long, and they'll hope for get it a bit deeper. A glancing head in towards the 6-yard box, but smashed away by the Dark Blues downfield. And no real pressure on Malloy back there. Turns, finds Suman, who's going to waste no time smashing it back. He's not afraid to do that. Alessandro will try and put right under pressure, right infield to Astley, who clears up to the halfway line. And ball won by Aberdeen. Not particularly good ball to the edge of the box, but it's a poor clearance. Now Samuels and Riley have got some work to do in between them. They do it well. Now countering after a nice 1-2. Fed up to Wesley. He has to take a touch. It was drilled, kind of. It lost the momentum of a counter. Still no word on the stoppage time. We're into stoppage time. It's not flashed up on screen. Congreve down the right, crosses in towards the near post, headed away. Trying to keep it alive was Jones. He can't. Poked downfield by Kjartansson. Dundee will have it back on the halfway line. 7 minutes of stoppage time to be added on, and we've had almost a minute. I thought it might be more.
It looked like it could have been more. I mean, yeah, it could have been up to about 10, couldn't it? But 7 does feel about right. I mean, 3 injuries in there. One was the big head injury to Morrison. He's obviously alright. That was about 5 minutes itself. But 7 minutes does feel about right.
Ball on the halfway line. Dundee throw. They haven't threatened an awful lot since the goal, which is not saying much, bearing in mind that goal came in the 10th minute. Robertson had a shot from the edge of the box, forced the save. I'm not sure Dundee have had, Aberdeen haven't had many more chances than the one that they scored from either, as they're trying to change that now. Ball looking for Asanya. Kimetio gets there first. Alasanya, he's penalised for just barging him in the back. And he's penalised. He doesn't like it. He vents his frustrations towards the linesman. I thought his pace might be a problem, but I think so far Dundee have actually negated it pretty well.
Yeah, they have. But you know what? I've admired the way that he's getting himself about a little bit. He's forced a couple of corners that looked like they weren't going to be going out for corners, and he's giving away a few fouls and stuff like that. But I don't mind that from your centre forward, especially when his partner Nisbet hasn't really been involved in the game at all. Olasanyo's trying to get involved in any way that he can, so I don't mind it.
Poor defending at the back for Aberdeen. They haven't cleared the lines. Shooting opportunity. Congreve can't keep it down. Side foot's over the bar. That's a pretty good one. A mistake at the back. Miscommunication. Wesley's made himself a nuisance. Just laid it off to Robertson. Squared to Congreve running onto it. But I guess he'll be disappointed he hasn't at least hit the target.
No, he's got to score. He has to absolutely score that goal. Big chance on his left foot. He's just leaning back and he just blasts it over the bar. He needs to just, try and maintain his composure and just calm down. But he's just smashed it over the bar. He should score.
Yeah, wasn't trying to hit it too hard. That's why he should at least hit the target. He tried to side foot it, but got underneath it. As Joe said, leaning back. Perhaps thinking about the glory before finding the back of the net. We're into the 4th minute of added time, a minimum of 7. Referees, it's a throw into Aberdeen on the halfway line, left hand side. They're not really in a rush to take it. Malloy's waiting for an option, tries to find Geiger, but he wins a free kick. Backing into Hamilton. Astley got a second challenge in. I just wonder whether the contact was initiated by Geiger himself. Should it have been a free kick? Aberdeen won't care. They've got the decision. Free kick's near the halfway line, but they might send up the likes of Morrison and Milne. Malloy maybe. Cameron's taken most of their set pieces so far, and he's proven he's got a good delivery in. That's not the worst cross, but it's Jones underneath it, headering it clear for Dundee. Wright can't keep it on the touchline, so it's an attacking throw now for the Dons. 20-25 yards from goal, left-hand side. Malloy over there. It's not the worst long throw I've ever seen. maybe a bit too far out. It's into the box. Astley heads out. Keskinen stabs it towards goal. It lacked power, conviction and direction. Nothing going in it in his favour there. Wide of the target. Goal kick to Dundee.
Yeah, Aberdeen, their set pieces have been good so far from Cameron. That free kick there just sort of failed to beat the first man, and the throws as well have been good for Aberdeen as well. Like I say, they've been taking advantage of the set pieces, sending up Milne. He's probably the biggest player on the pitch, so he's been the target. But they didn't utilise his strengths there.
Long clearance downfield from the goal kick, flicked on by Wesley, but pumped back by Morrison. Cometio beats Olasanya to the ball, but he hasn't got much depth on his clearance. Clever pass from Cameron to Nisbet, left hand side, wide of the penalty spot. Did a full 360, waits for support. He kind of negated the overlapping run of Geiger. Dundee had now got bodies back behind the ball. Malloy goes down the line, finds Geiger. He's turned right, back to Malloy, drills it into the mixer, and it's Cometio got there ahead of the man. Shot comes in, deflected. Olasanya taps it in. They're appealing for an offside. Certainly O'Hara is. There was a deflection on the strike. Was he offside? I'm sure VAR will have a look. Olasanya, though, got the touch. Aberdeen celebrate.
I think he deserves a goal, Rob. I think he deserves a goal. He's got himself about a little bit, and he's tried to make things happen. Like I say, we'll see if this is an offside. It certainly looks like it could be. I don't know, but it was one of those where the ball just sort of came loose in the 6-yard area. It was in that corridor, wasn't it, between the last defender and the goalkeeper, and Olasanya was there to tap it in.
Yeah, it's in the 6-minute stoppage time. I mean, the deflection, if it's off a Dundee player, it doesn't really matter whether he was offside. I think when the initial shot was taken, he was onside. Obviously, it's a crowded area from the set piece. And the goal, I think, stands. The referee has already pointed to the spot. Olasanya, second of the game. And obviously, it was a semblance of a tap-in, but he needed to stretch. And Dundee, again, perhaps not convincing defending from set pieces. Got about a minute and a half of stoppage time remaining, depending on whether the referee adds more on for a goal in the celebration. Brief VAR check. Nothing that O'Hara could do, really. A deflection took the pace out of it. Olasanya's got there before he has. Wesley's turned his man, looking to equalise. Shot charged down edge of the box. He did have support there, but the referee has he hasn't added on much more time than he ought to have done. So that is the end of the first half. It's Dundee 1, Aberdeen 2. We'll be back with the second half soon. Off time at Dens Park. It's Dundee 1, Aberdeen 2. Dundee in front in the 10th minute. Congreve's cross nodded down by O'Reilly. Pretty much on the goal line. Tapped in by Wright. Aberdeen levelled in the 23rd minute, though. Cameron's corner headed home far post by Morrison. And deep in stoppage time, another set piece. Dundee didn't clear their lines. A shot from the edge of the box took a deflection. Olasanya sliding in, beat O'Hara to the ball. And the Dons have turned that first half around. 1-2. of time at Dens Park. It's Dundee 1, Aberdeen 2. Dundee in front in the 10th minute. Congreve's cross nodded down by O'Reilly, pretty much on the goal line, tapped in by Wright. Aberdeen levelled in the 23rd minute though. Cameron's corner headed home far post by Morrison, and deep in stoppage time, another set piece. Dundee didn't clear their lines. A shot from the edge of the box took a deflection. Olasanya sliding in beat a horror to the ball, and the Dons have turned that first half around. 1-2 of time at Dens Park. It's Dundee 1, Aberdeen 2. Dundee in front in the 10th minute. Congreve's cross nodded down by O'Reilly, pretty much on the goal line, tapped in by Wright. Aberdeen levelled in the 23rd minute though. Cameron's corner headed home far post by Morrison, and deep in stoppage time, another set piece. Dundee didn't clear their lines. A shot from the edge of the box took a deflection. Olasanya sliding in beat a horror to the ball, and the Dons have turned that first half around. 1-2 of time at Dens Park. It's Dundee 1, Aberdeen 2. Dundee in front in the 10th minute. Congreve's cross nodded down by O'Reilly, pretty much on the goal line, tapped in by Wright. Aberdeen levelled in the 23rd minute though. Cameron's corner headed home far post by Morrison, and deep in stoppage time, another set piece. Dundee didn't clear their lines. A shot from the edge of the box took a deflection. Olasanya sliding in beat a horror to the ball, and the Dons have turned that first half around. 1-2 of time at Dens Park. It's Dundee 1, Aberdeen 2. Dundee in front in the 10th minute. Congreve's cross nodded down by O'Reilly, pretty much on the goal line, tapped in by Wright. Aberdeen levelled in the 23rd minute though. Cameron's corner headed home far post by Morrison, and deep in stoppage time, another set piece. Dundee didn't clear their lines. A shot from the edge of the box took a deflection. Olasanya sliding in beat a horror to the ball, and the Dons have turned that first half around. 1-2 of time at Dens Park. It's Dundee 1, Aberdeen 2. Dundee in front in the 10th minute. Congreve's cross nodded down by O'Reilly, pretty much on the goal line, tapped in by Wright. Aberdeen levelled in the 23rd minute though. Cameron's corner headed home far post by Morrison, and deep in stoppage time, another set piece. Dundee didn't clear their lines. A shot from the edge of the box took a deflection. Olasanya sliding in beat a horror to the ball, and the Dons have turned that first half around. 1-2 of time at Dens Park. It's Dundee 1, Aberdeen 2. Dundee in front in the 10th minute. Congreve's cross nodded down by O'Reilly, pretty much on the goal line, tapped in by Wright. Aberdeen levelled in the 23rd minute though. Cameron's corner headed home far post by Morrison, and deep in stoppage time, another set piece. Dundee didn't clear their lines. A shot from the edge of the box took a deflection. Olasanya sliding in beat a horror to the ball, and the Dons have turned that first half around. 1-2 of time at Dens Park. It's Dundee 1, Aberdeen 2. Dundee in front in the 10th minute. Congreve's cross nodded down by O'Reilly, pretty much on the goal line, tapped in by Wright. Aberdeen levelled in the 23rd minute though. Cameron's corner headed home far post by Morrison, and deep in stoppage time, another set piece. Dundee didn't clear their lines. A shot from the edge of the box took a deflection. Olasanya sliding in beat a horror to the ball, and the Dons have turned that first half around. 1-2 of time at Dens Park. It's Dundee 1, Aberdeen 2. Dundee in front in the 10th minute. Congreve's cross nodded down by O'Reilly, pretty much on the goal line, tapped in by Wright. Aberdeen levelled in the 23rd minute though. Cameron's corner headed home far post by Morrison, and deep in stoppage time, another set piece. Dundee didn't clear their lines. A shot from the edge of the box took a deflection. Olasanya sliding in beat a horror to the ball, and the Dons have turned that first half around. 1-2 of time at Dens Park. It's Dundee 1, Aberdeen 2. Dundee in front in the 10th minute. Congreve's cross nodded down by O'Reilly, pretty much on the goal line, tapped in by Wright. Aberdeen levelled in the 23rd minute though. Cameron's corner headed home far post by Morrison, and deep in stoppage time, another set piece. Dundee didn't clear their lines. A shot from the edge of the box took a deflection. Olasanya sliding in beat a horror to the ball, and the Dons have turned that first half around. 1-2 of time at Dens Park. It's Dundee 1, Aberdeen 2. Dundee in front in the 10th minute. Congreve's cross nodded down by O'Reilly, pretty much on the goal line, tapped in by Wright. Aberdeen levelled in the 23rd minute though. Cameron's corner headed home far post by Morrison, and deep in stoppage time, another set piece. Dundee didn't clear their lines. A shot from the edge of the box took a deflection. Olasanya sliding in beat a horror to the ball, and the Dons have turned that first half around. 1-2 Of time at Dens Park, it's Dundee 1, Aberdeen 2. Dundee in front in the 10th minute. Congreve's cross nodded down by O'Reilly, pretty much on the goal line, tapped in by Wright. Aberdeen levelled in the 23rd minute though. Cameron's corner headed home far post by Morrison, and deep in stoppage time, another set piece. Dundee didn't clear their lines. A shot from the edge of the box took a deflection. Olasanya sliding in beat O'Hara to the ball, and the Dons have turned that first half around. 1-2. Of time at Dens Park, it's Dundee 1, Aberdeen 2. Dundee in front in the 10th minute. Congreve's cross nodded down by O'Reilly, pretty much on the goal line, tapped in by Wright. Aberdeen levelled in the 23rd minute though. Cameron's corner headed home far post by Morrison, and deep in stoppage time, another set piece. Dundee didn't clear their lines. A shot from the edge of the box took a deflection. Olasanya sliding in beat O'Hara to the ball, and the Dons have turned that first half around. 1-2. Of time at Dens Park, it's Dundee 1, Aberdeen 2. Dundee in front in the 10th minute. Congreve's cross nodded down by O'Reilly, pretty much on the goal line, tapped in by Wright. Aberdeen levelled in the 23rd minute though. Cameron's corner headed home far post by Morrison, and deep in stoppage time, another set piece. Dundee didn't clear their lines. A shot from the edge of the box took a deflection. Olasanya sliding in beat O'Hara to the ball, and the Dons have turned that first half around. 1-2. Of time at Dens Park, it's Dundee 1, Aberdeen 2. Dundee in front in the 10th minute. Congreve's cross nodded down by O'Reilly, pretty much on the goal line, tapped in by Wright. Aberdeen levelled in the 23rd minute though. Cameron's corner headed home far post by Morrison, and deep in stoppage time, another set piece. Dundee didn't clear their lines. A shot from the edge of the box took a deflection. Olasanya sliding in beat O'Hara to the ball, and the Dons have turned that first half around. 1-2. Of time at Dens Park, it's Dundee 1, Aberdeen 2. Dundee in front in the 10th minute. Congreve's cross nodded down by O'Reilly, pretty much on the goal line, tapped in by Wright. Aberdeen levelled in the 23rd minute though. Cameron's corner headed home far post by Morrison.
The 6-yard box. It's a strong start for the home side, and Fulham just going to clear their lines all the way out they come. Myself, Nathan Wassell, alongside me, Kieran Shelley, as we take you through the game. It's one of them that doesn't mean a whole lot to Wolves. The last hurrah at Molineux in the Premier League for at least another season, whereas Fulham, you think, be fairly motivated to try and get 3 points this afternoon.
Yeah, you'd imagine so. I mean, all the stats are in the favour of the away side, of course. They can't quite. They can mathematically reach Europe. 8th would be their highest position, highest finishing position possible. But I think most people know that's probably unlikely with the amount of teams between them and that spot at the moment. They aren't in great form of recent times either. Arsenal 3-0, Bournemouth 1-0, and they've not lost 3 in a row without scoring since December 2023.
No, they haven't. It's a great start. It's a great start indeed. So it's going to be a Fulham throw. Timothy Castagna, the Belgian, on the near side to take the throw in. Just starting to grow into this game ever more. There is other games going on, by the way, in the Premier League this afternoon. Of course, Man United beating Nottingham Forest in the lunchtime kick-off. There's Brentford, Palace, Everton, Sunderland, and Leeds, Brighton as well. So any goals that go in, we'll try our best to keep you updated on them as they do go in. But Calvin Bassey goes towards halfway, left side of centre. 3.5 on the clock, still remains 0-0. Long ball to the near side, looking for Oscar Bob, the former City man. Can't find him too much on it from the Nigerians. So throw in on the near side. It started so well for Fulham. Had a brilliant start to the season with all eyes on Europe, but recent dip in form, it's not been good enough, unfortunately. Like I say, 2 wins in 9. Definitely isn't good enough, but they're looking to do the first double over Wolves in their history after beating them at the Craven Cottage last year, as Bernd Leno has the ball on the penalty spot inside his own area. It goes right to Issa Diop, and they're just going to come forward. Don't look in any such hurry just yet. Nice sunny day in Wolves, it looks like. Not a sellout at Molineux. Looks like well-travelled, the away fans. As Leno's just stood on the ball presently. He's not moving the ball. They seem patient with it at the minute, Fulham. Whereas Wolves look like they want to get out the blocks as quick as they possibly can. Looks like Hwang's going to be playing on the near side, as we can see it. And Armstrong will lead the line this afternoon. It's Calvin Bassey. Moves it left-footed forward, down the line. For Alex Iwobi, down the line it goes. That's a good ball, just a bit too much on it. It will be a goal kick to Wolves in the end, but Fulham growing into the game.
Yeah, they are. I mean, they've had most of the ball, which isn't a surprise. When Wolves have had it, they've tried to move it forward pretty quickly, which is, of course, how they tend to get teams this season. It's not been terrific. They do have to play with 5 at the back, a pretty flat back 5. It normally is. Rumours of a penalty at Brentford. It's gone the way of the visitors, though. Crystal Palace with that. We'll get confirmation as we know whether that's gone in or not.
Of course, a big one there as well because of Brentford pushing for Europe themselves. Palace's season in the Premier League is all but done. They've got a Conference League final to attend later in the season, but could be a big goal there very early in the 3 o'clock kickoffs on a Sunday, can you believe? As we're just getting a Wolves goal kick. We're just having a look at it. They went short left of the 6-yard box, trying to play out from the back, and then they went to clear it, and they just about got away with it. Oscar Bob with the high press. They've gone long this time to the near side. Gomez going to look over the top, looking for Mane. Issa Diop just too strong. The big centre half, he just hooked it over his own shoulder. Not the prettiest football on display so far from these two teams. Just going to take a player just to grab hold of this game. Sander Berger, one of the changes from last week's defeat, coming in. Just going to take a hold of it now. Just going to go backwards though. Hwang Hee-chan just kicked it off his own foot and hit the deck. It's not good football at all, but he's done really well to wriggle away. As Kieran, looks like a goal's gone in.
Yeah, Sarr has dispatched that penalty. So 1-0 to Crystal Palace inside 6 minutes.
Yeah, so covered Palace midweek away at the Etihad, of course. Man City red hot form. Just won the FA Cup, of course. They weren't in that game really at all on the beach performance, but a great start in London for them. Wolves coming forward, left hand side of the box. That's too much on it for Hwang. Is that going to be a first corner of the game? It looked like it may just be a goal kick. We'll have another look. Yeah, it looks from the body language like it's going to be a goal kick. It is. Just overran it in the end. It was a pass that was just too much on it. Let's have another look. On the swivel was the midfielder Gomez, and just too much on it down the line, and Hwang couldn't keep it in. 7 on the clock. No real sign of the deadlock being broken just yet between these two teams. As Issa Diop just inside his own box at the minute. Left to right they come the Cottagers. Just going to play it inside and hook it forward. And Wolves are trying to avoid history here for the wrong reasons, of course. If they were to lose today, that would be the most losses in one campaign for them, with 25 losses. They've made a brilliant start. Wolf with the ball into the box. That's not a bad ball in, and Bassey's going to have to clear this one. And it looks like it will finally be the first corner of the game. It's going to go to Wolves, who have, I would arguably say, they made a better start of the two.
Yeah, they've been better with the ball that they've had.
Yeah, it's going to be a corner.
When they've had it in attacking areas, that's for sure. Fulham probably still have more of it. But yeah, they're looking good in attacking areas are Wolves. Bassey and Diop have had a bit to do. Bassey's quite firm, obviously saw Hee-chan out a moment ago and then blocked that one. Ball into the box from the corner. Mane, it's headed firmly away though by Fulham. Wolves still have the ball.
And they're still coming again as they're looking to recycle into the box. That goes over everyone into the hands of Bernd Leno. Easy enough.
250th appearance today, Bernd Leno in the Premier League as well. 101 for Arsenal, and this is 149th therefore for Fulham. Third most of any German player in the league. But here come Fulham looking to get into the box. It might still come for them. It's not terrifically dealt with initially by Andre, but he did enough, and now Wolves can clear upfield.
They're just going to clear the lines. They've been dallying at the back. A couple of occasions there. Wolves nearly bit them on the backside moments ago and didn't really learn from it. All the way through it goes to Leno in goal. 8.5 on the clock, does remain 0-0. Wolves have only won 3 at home all season in the Premier League. It's not a brilliant return, let's be frank. 19 games and only 3 wins. It's not a great return. There's going to be a free kick here for Timothy Castagna, the Belgian. Just going to play it inside Sander Berg, inside his own half. Just on the patient side of things, the away side at the minute, Bassey just going towards halfway. Thought about running forward, but likes to wear his shorts very low. He nearly tripped over his own shorts there, did Calvin Bassey. As he moves it inside to Diop. Moving forward, the big Frenchman. He has a man to his right in Castagna. No one real pressing on him. He moves it to Castagna on the near side. Not a big press from Wolves at the minute. That's a big press. And a push coming in. Looks like referee Thomas Kirk's going to give a free kick here. I think it was Andre there, the Brazilian, just pushing against his man against Oscar. He's keeping hold of the ball as well. So maybe, that's a really bad challenge, isn't it?
Yeah, it's got to be a free kick, and it is from Andre. Just couldn't get the right side of his man, and like I say, Bob, not too happy with the way he held onto the ball.
Yeah, Oscar Bob, one of them people we haven't seen in a Fulham top all that often this season. He hasn't featured all that much, the little winger, since coming from Manchester City. It's just going to go backwards here from Fulham. All the way back to Leno again. They're just been playing out from the German goalkeeper. Bassi to the far side. Alex Iwobi, the former Arsenal man, goes backwards this time to Robinson. Just going to take on his man. He's done brilliantly, the American as well. Move to the far side to Iwobi. Chance to maybe get the ball in the box. Down to the byline to Robinson. Pulls it backwards. 2 orange jerseys there just to clear the lines. It's up rather than out, really. Iwobi trying to take this down back to goal. He goes all the way back to Bassi and just keeping hold of the ball. As Fulham worked it really well down that left-hand side. Robinson did extremely well. It's him again, the American. Of course, we'll see him at the World Cup in the summer. Iwobi zips it inside. That's not a good ball. And picked off by Andre. And he's just going to carry the ball forward. Wolves looking to get on the counter-attack here. Ref plays advantage. He looked to go over the top. Hwang didn't fancy it. And again, they're going to go backwards themselves. Just going for the patient approach here, these two teams. Hwang maybe had the chance there to look over the top. Mane was looking for a run in behind, but nothing really doing. Ball down the line on the far side for Wolves, being picked off by Robinson very easily. Left of centre. Sander Berge going to drive forward. Slide comes in, he's evaded that. He's evaded 2, but just about keeps hold of it, the big Dane. And he's just going to look for maybe a long ball here. No, he's going to look right to Castagna. And on the near side, can he get a run down the line? Oscar Bob back on the ball. 13th appearance in the Premier League this season for Oscar Bob, mostly off the bench. Just seen Hwang Hee-chan. He's probably been the busiest of the Wolves players so far. Couldn't get the ball in behind, but it just looks like Fulham are growing back into this game ever so. As they've got to move it down the right hand side. Oscar Bob, good run inside as well, trying to look down the line. Bit of a block off. Muniz is going to get there. He's having to go backwards to go forward. Castagna with the ball in, looks good to the back post. Shot comes in, great save by the keeper. Alex Iwobi with the effort. Inside it goes. Not a good ball inside, and they'll clear their lines. It looks like a push in the end, so it will be a free kick. A good save it was by the Wolves keeper, but made ever easier by the fact that Alex Iwobi zipped it right at him.
Yeah, indeed, Iwobi opted for power on a relatively tight angle. Jose Sarr stood firm, pretty solid goalkeeper. It's actually down at his feet, so he's done quite well to get across. So take another look at it. I think saying it straight at him probably is a little unfair. But yeah, good work from Fulham. It was nicely worked, and Smith Rowe just couldn't get it under control in the end. But yeah, it wasn't an awful ball from Castagna initially either to pick out Iwobi. I think that was the best part of that piece of play. And it's really well controlled actually from Iwobi. Keeps it low, keeps it on target on the volley, side footing it with quite a lot of power. But yeah, just too close to the man in pink this afternoon.
Yeah, you see a lot of times players just lash at it with the laces, goes flying over the top. But yeah, got over it well. Did Alex Iwobi. Shot on target. Big chance there for Fulham to break the deadlock, but not so. Wolves on the far side. Just dancing around on the right flank, but running into problems already. Far too easy for Fulham just to get the ball back. Just very sloppy on it. Like I say, it's the first time Wolves are going to be out of the Premier League in over 10 years, and they'll go back to the Championship. Final Premier League game for them. Love to leave on a high. Fulham, is that going to be a free kick in the back? I think it is, you know. Muniz just been pulled down left side of the box. Is it going to be a throw-in? Looks like it's going to be a throw-in in the end. For Fulham, just went out on the far side. Good ball inside from Robinson. Emile Smith Rowe down the lines. That's going a lot of Iwobi there. It's just going to be kept in on that far side, and Wolves are going to hook it clear. It'll be another throw-in for Fulham, who look stronger and stronger when they do come forward. It looks like Jose Sarr, of course, the Wolves captain. And we'll get another replay of it. A big save as he moved over to the right-hand side. Iwobi, he's stretching for it. Yeah, it was a smart save by Sarr, wasn't it?
Yeah, he had to shuffle over quickly. It might have gone at him in the end, but that was thanks to good movement from the Wolverhampton Wanderers goalkeeper. And Fulham have just earned another corner since the sort of 7th or 8th minute. They've really grown into this game. Definitely been the dominant side in the last 5.
So it's going to be the first corner of the game for Fulham, second corner of the game. Over on the far side, as we can see it on our screens. As he goes over to take it, what I believe to maybe be Robinson to take. Maybe Emile Smith Rowe. It's going to be Sasha Lukic to take the number 20. In swinging right-footed corner. Send the big lads forward. Bassi's in there. Muniz is good with his head. Diop's an obvious target as well. Needs to be a good delivery in the box. 15 minutes on the clock. Wolves 0, Fulham 0. It's going to be a Lukic to take. He's just taking his sweet time over it. Just ordering his men around. What sort of ball is this going to be into the box? May look for a short one. It's going to be dipped right into the 6-yard box, straight towards the keeper who didn't deal with it. He's gone down under pressure, and I think a free kick's been given, but I thought he got nudged off his own player. But either way, a free kick, but a really aggressive, deep, violent ball in.
Yeah, I'll see this one again. I think the argument is perhaps that Castagna is stood underneath or has pushed the Wolves player into Jose Sa. I think that's what it's been given for. Looked like it was Mosquera perhaps who was trying to defend his goalkeeper. Yeah, there's a push in the back, I think, from the Fulham player. It's Sander Berge, actually. I think that's the right decision. So it's not actually a foul on the keeper, but Sander Berge just pushes Mosquera, based off what I've seen, into the goalkeeper.
Yeah, used the Wolves man to cause the foul. Correct decision by the referee. And Wolves going all the way back to that man Jose Sa in goal, left-hand side of his own box. The Portuguese man just going to play it short and out. They're going to move it to the far side, trying to play out for the back. Being caught on it. Luckily there, it's just ricocheted back to Rodrigo Gomez on that far side. And they're just going to about get it clear. Look like Fulham are going to win that high up with a high press. A header over the top, well won by the American Anthony Robinson. Has he just given that away? Yes, he has. And Wolves going to come forward centrally, move to the left-hand side to Mane. He's got a man to his left. He's going to go for goal with the left foot. It's a brilliant save and a great effort as well. First time really being called upon the German goalkeeper. And they're going to clear their lines on the far side. He really caught that as well, Mane, on the left-hand side. And Fulham here going to come forward centrally in the centre circle. Moves it to the near side to Oscar Bob. Going to hurt them while they're vulnerable. Emile Smith-Rowe is going to try and play it through to Iwobi again with that ball. But well swept up. And Sar's just going to clear his lines. It'll be a throw in far side Fulham. But what an attempt that was from Mane.
Yeah, indeed. Really good effort. Hit it with some power. And a firm save from Leno as well. It was a really well won back, I think, by Hee Chan, wasn't it? In midfield, perhaps. And yeah, Mane got some power on it. He is a good 20 yards out at least, though, so Leno can see it all the way. It's a decent height for the keeper as well. Not quite going right into the side netting either. So yeah, really good work.
He was slightly over to his right hand side. He wasn't exactly central in the goal, so he had a full stretch on to like the middle of the goal. You call that a comfortable height for the keeper, but he wasn't comfortable. He had to fully stretch for that great save. It was 17 on the clock on official independent off-tube studio commentary. It's Wolves 0, Fulham 0. In a nothing game really for Wolves. Just a bit of pride on the line at this point. Their final game in the Premier League. Whereas Fulham looking for Europe. Started the campaign so well, but fizzled out at the latter stages. Would want to again end it on a high, would Fulham. They've got a free kick on the far side. As Anthony Robinson's been clipped in the heels. Of course, they have away at Wolves today, but they host Newcastle on the final day, who again have nothing to really play for themselves. So get the job done today, and it's looking good for Marco Silva. He's out of contract in the summer. His future is up in the air as it stands. I think they'd love to keep him on. He's been a brilliant servant for Fulham. Leno's just got the ball on the penalty spot. He goes left to Bassi there, looking to play out from the back over to the far side to Robinson. Down the line with the left foot. That's gone out of play. It'll be a Wolves throw-in on the far side. Looks like no changes in the Premier League goal scoring. Just Palace are 1-0 up away at Brentford. Ismail Assar on the 6th minute from 12 yards, giving them the lead, but no changes elsewhere at the minute. And Newcastle host West Ham in the 5:30 kickoff. We'll cover that on this service as well. As if you want to join us for that one, that's the big game, of course. West Ham need maximum points in their chance for survival and hoping not to join Wolves in the Championship next year. Mosquera, the Colombian, he's going to throw this in long. He's darting that in towards the front post, headed on as well. Only a Fulham man there. He's been headed back across. That's not a good clearance from Fulham. It may just go back out to the man that took the throw in the centre circle this time. It's going to be Wolf to move the ball to the far side. That's not a great ball, but a Fulham head will put it out. It'll be another Wolves throw in from the far side, a long one as well. Robinson got up well there. The Americans put it into touch. May just be another Mosquera long ball in. It's going to be Krejci to go out there and take the throw in. They're going to battle. It's almost like a corner at this point. It's another set piece. Practically, they're sending the big lads forward and they're just going to launch this one in. The big Czech centre half. Here he goes. It's a bullet to the front post. It's a Fulham man on it. It looks like Muniz back there, the Fulham striker. Krejci back on the ball inside the box. They go Wolves. Can they keep it in? They can. Right on the byline on the right hand side, it goes backwards. A first time crossing. It's not great. It's gone all the way out of the box to the near side. Wang's going to try recycle this. They may just have to go backwards. They are. Fulham have got out well. and they're going to float an early ball in. Is that a good ball? It's dipping violently to the back post. It's not a bad ball at all. Flag stays down for now. Gomez on it. Going to go backwards into the centre of the pitch to Andre. He's going to float the ball to the near side. Keeping it alive just about. Mane, left side of the box. Number 36 on the ball. Onto the right foot. Ball in, not a bad one. Can't get a defensive header on it. Shot comes in. It's going to be sliced wide and a goal kick. Just never really looked convincing coming forward, Wolves.
No, they're moving it fairly well, and obviously they've got the danger man in terms of Mane, who's probably the best player with the ball at feet. But yeah, that shot, not terrific. They're lacking quality, aren't they, with the players? I mean, we've seen it all season. Ultimately, I mean, that first time cross that was attempted from the right hand side was poor. On that occasion, I think it was Bueno who took the Rodrigo Gomez who took the shot. It never really looked like it was ever going to cause any problems for Leno. But you know, they're moving the ball forward nicely, and they've not won the final home game of the season, the last 5. So they'll be looking to change that if they can and have a good send-off. Raul Jimenez getting a round of applause from the full stadium. He is Wolves' top scorer in the Premier League with 40 goals, but never scored against them.
He'd love to do that, but he may just be off the bench to do so, as he's warming up on the near side, as we can see it. Leno's just got the ball in his all blue, head to toe, on the edge of the box, studs on ball. No real press on from Wolves just yet, so it's fairly comfortable. Now they're going to put the press on. It's a good ball out to the far side to Bassey. They're working it well for him. Emil Smith-Rowe to Robinson. Chance to come forward on the far side towards halfway. Moving it back inside to Smith-Rowe. Just looking for an outlet. Looking for a bit of movement on the far side. He's not really getting it at the minute. It's a key ball in Iwobi. All the way back he goes to Leno. And Fulham, of course, it'd be big to get 3 points. They'll see this in a fantastic opportunity to do so. But I said Wolves have won 3 games at home all season. Well, West Ham, Aston Villa and Liverpool, not bad names to have alongside it. So they've got a brilliant point last time out at Molineux against Sunderland as well, who've had a brilliant season themselves, the Black Cats. So not done too bad at Molineux, let's face it, in recent times, but over the course of the season not been good enough. Muniz on the dance, the Brazilian, known for his acrobatics, does well there on the spin, moves it to the near side to Bob, coming forward. He's not got a lot of movement in front of him. That's a good ball inside, looking for the 1-2, done well into the box. Bob goes, he's going to try play it inside. He went for the selfish option. There was a man at the back post in Iwobi, but he looked to touch it through his man's legs and didn't been able to do so. And Wolves have cleared their lines all the way back to Bassey centrally in his own half. Moves it to Robinson on the far side. They're going to come again, Fulham. Moving inside. When they do get it going, Fulham, they do look good, but it's just a matter of doing so. Lukic to the far side to Iwobi. Can he keep it in on the far touchline? He can. Right on the byline, goes backwards. Robinson on his unfavoured right at the minute, so he uses left to go backwards himself. Again, not a lot of movement for Fulham. They've pushed some numbers forward here, but they're just
slow, isn't it?
It's very slow. Statue-like for the front line at the minute. They're just remaining patient, but if you play this game, it has to amount to something. Berg, near side to Castagna. To Bob on the near side. Predominantly left-footed on the right side. Inside he goes. 1-2 at the minute. Muniz is an option to get into the box, but they're choosing against it. Centrally to Bassey they go, the number 3. And Robinson's going to dart inside. He's got the pace. He's got past 2. He's done well. Moves it inside to Bob. He's got an overlap of Castagna. Into the box they go. Ball across is a vicious one. He's too close to the keeper. Looks like it's gone out under no touch, so it will be a Wolves goal kick, but a good time to pass it over to you, Kay.
Thank you. And yeah, that's what happens when they speed it up a bit. Really good work from Robinson, driving across and in between a few players. Bob turned nicely and played it, second time, if you like, to Castagna, who plays a really nice ball in. There's just no one there for Fulham. I think you could argue it's a little bit too close to the keeper and too far beyond the players. I mean, no players are actually even on the shoulder, which isn't his fault. I mean, Rodrigo Muniz, that's his job, really. With the talent Fulham have in terms of creating opportunities, he can afford to play on the shoulder and just be that man to try and get him behind, or the penalty box striker, if you like. We've only had three attempts on goal in the match so far. Fulham have had the line share, of possession, that's for sure. But nothing too dangerous. The best chance of the match would have come to Mane. Now there might be a chance on the right hand side here for Armstrong. Gets a shot off. Oh, just wide of the mark. In fact, it was Rodrigo Gomez again, the right wing back for Wolverhampton Wanderers, who's getting into some really good areas. Strong shooting positions. Mentioned that they very much play as a back 5. He's very much playing as a winger at the moment. Nice link up from Adam Armstrong, who headed it down to him. And Fulham have had more but Wolves have had the better chances.
Yeah, you talked about how important them wide players are for Wolves. Well, there we go again. Rodrigo Gomez, the right wing back, probably the furthest man forward on that right hand side. Wasn't a bad attempt across goal. The angle was against him as he pulled it, but it kissed the post as it went past. Like you say, less chances but better.
They're coming forward again. Rodrigo Gomez on that right hand side. Not a bad ball in. Opportunity perhaps in the box. Hee-chan back to Mane! Back of the net. What a finish!
It's a brilliant goal. It's a brilliant goal from Mane. 25 on the clock. They're wanting to wave these Wolves fans off with the last hurrah, and he's been the most dangerous man for Wolves going forward, the number 36. We saw a peach from him to the right-hand side of the goal not so long ago. Well, he caught that one on the laces, left-hand side. Keeper had no chance. 25 on the clock. Wolves 1, Fulham 0.
A brilliant finish from Matheus Mane. I'll take a look at that move again. It was a nice move. As I mentioned, the ball was out towards the right-hand side. I'm confident it was Rodrigo Gomez. Again, that right winger, essentially, for Wolves. He just got ahead of Anthony Robinson, who's always quite attacking-minded, into Hee-chan, who lays it off nicely for Matheus Mane, just on the edge of the box and the edge of the D, on the left-hand side from an attacking point of view. Strikes it with so much power, and that's what beats Leno. It wasn't right in the top corner, wasn't right in the side netting. Sort of, again, if you like, probably a decent height, about chest height by the time it goes into the back of the net, but so well hit from the youngster, who's really gotten off to a flying start in his first Premier League campaign for the side from the West Midlands.
Brilliant finish. It was third of the season in the Premier League for him. I'm sure there'll be teams sniffing around to keep him in the Premier League. And he's a brilliant young talent. We've already seen what we can bring, and we mentioned that he was the best attacking outlet for them in this game so far. And well, doesn't that just prove it? Layoff first time hit on the laces, top of the boot, drilled, got his head over it. It's a brilliant finish, it really is, from the number 36. And Fulham flirting with Europe, but you know, if you're going to win 2 games in 9 and you're 1-0 down against the team with 18 points before the ball was kicked, 18 points from 36 games, and you're losing, it's not really Europe worthy, is it?
No, not quite. Fulham draws are few and far between for them. They win a lot and lose a lot, which is not ideal in particular, especially when you're losing more than you're winning. They're looking to get on the attack again. Berge goes out wide to Robinson. Robinson with a crossing opportunity, deflected, and it'll be a Fulham corner. Their second of the match.
It was a Robinson ball in that didn't look too bad, to be honest. He's done that a couple of times down that left-hand side. He's looked brilliant down that left flank. He's a really important player for Fulham. Plays most of the games. Of course, he had that injury this season, but when he's fit, he's always playing. Probably first name on the team sheet. Looked like another dangerous ball in. Really important block, though.
Yeah, indeed. Good work from the Wolves' defence to defend that box. He's gone short and out to the edge of the area for Iwobi. He's going to have to go back out wide once more. Oscar Bob 1v1 with Andre. He's won another corner, so Fulham will have a third one. In fact, it was Gomez he was 1v1 with, who's furious. Well, not furious, I should say, but clearly adamant it's a goal kick, and it looks like it's, excuse me, going to go the opposite way. It'll be a Fulham ball. Yet again, another corner, another opportunity to get the ball towards Bassi and Diop. Oscar Bob is a short option. Lukic is over it. See if they take this one short. Again, Bob just slowly moving away. I think it's going to go into the box. It is right on top of the goalkeeper once again. Back post. Oh, the header's bounced and gone over. It's a really poor miss, you have to say. Sander Berge at the back post has a pretty much open goal after Jose Sarr went for the ball. It's gone over the goalkeeper's head. Sander Berge just headed it just straight downwards, and it's bounced over the goal.
It's a similar ball into the last one we saw that dipped violently, but this time there's a bit more purchase on it to the back post. Oh, he just lost a bit of flight on it. It's dipped a bit too late, and then it's come off his face rather than his forehead into the floor, too close to him, lost the balance of it. Keeper was in no man's land, just getting tackled here, there and everywhere. Huge opportunity for Fulham to get an equaliser very shortly after conceding.
Indeed, Fulham still creating chances, but that's probably their best of the game so far, you'd say. Iwobi now trying to get them moving forward. Smith Rowe is an option out wide who's not had much of the ball. He's been kept quiet. Just have to commend Wolves 4 as we approach the half-hour mark. Wolverhampton Wanderers 1, Fulham 0. That's a good interception by Hee-chan on this left-hand side, preventing the ball from getting to Castagna. As it stands, Fulham would be in 12th place on 48 points, of course, which would mean the highest they would be able to go is still 8th mathematically, but I think we all know that's unlikely with 5 teams between them and 8th place. Wolves have won the ball back in a promising area. Mane running forward. That's going to be a foul from Sander Berge. Rather unnecessary foul, to be honest, as well, as it was him who lost the ball. And it was quickly played forward to Mane. Berge straight into the back of the young Portuguese man, who did play for England under 18s, but he has now committed to Portugal, having made his debut for their under 21s in March. Portuguese birth, moved to England as a youngster, did Mane. He's stood over this free kick as well, about just over 30 yards out, I'd say, towards the left, so it'll be a tricky one to score from. Only a one-man wall, and it's a high line from Fulham on the edge of the box though. Mane sends it towards the far post. Doesn't look like there was really anyone there. It's gone over Leno's bar. Mascara got his head to it. Wasn't a bad ball, but always tricky to get anything on it.
Yeah, it wasn't a bad ball. The problem, it was curling. There wasn't much pace on it, so it was slightly behind Mascara, so you're digging it out. It's a bit of a tough one. Needs to be a bit further forward. A bit of a nonchalant swing with the leg. Put the ball in. Yeah, it wasn't the worst, but he didn't really do his teammate any favours there. I'm just slightly concerned for Fulham at this point. You don't want this game to start getting a bit frustrating for them. You know, you saw Sander Berge barrel into his man, and it's just, that's the last thing you want. They just need to keep their heads focused on what they're doing, because they are getting chances, but when they are getting chances, they need to take them, obviously.
Castagna on the right hand side, on the halfway line, looking to get Fulham moving forward, which they are. He comes infield. That's Sander Berge. He's got options left and right. Goes to Bob on the right hand side. Still in the midfield third though are Fulham. Now advancing a little more. Sander Berge over to Bob once more. This time certainly in the attacking third. Castagna's made the underlapping run. Can he get across in the Belgian? He can, towards the far post. Smith Rowe tried to head it back into the box, but failed to find a man in black. Surely that's a foul. 30 yards out. It's not. Lukic went down under a challenge. And they've still got the attack going though. Smith Rowe crosses the ball in, headed up and away by Santiago Bueno. Shot comes in from Castagna. That's going to roll straight through to the goalkeeper after a couple of deflections. It was Sander Berge, in fact, who took that shot. And yeah, Fulham, it's quite simple really. The quicker they move the ball, the better the attacks look.
It is that. When they're slow and lethargic, it's too predictable, not a lot of movement. But when they speed it up, they look dangerous. They got the likes of Bob and Iwobi on them wing sides. You know, there's no Chukwueze. He drops to the bench, so does Harry Wilson. So they've got pace about them two wingers. So when they speed it up, yeah, looking dangerous.
Looking to move the ball forward again. Castagna plays the ball across the box, but it's taken away from the target. Smith Rowe's won it back. Oscar Bob now into the box onto that left foot, plays it into Castagna of all people, who takes a shot off target. It's poor. Really poor from the Belgian right back. He's got to do better than that for me.
Needs to stick to defending for me. That's not good, is it? He's in the box. The ball's under him. He's trying to get it out. The goalmouth's already blocked off. There's no need to shoot from there. I think he's forcing that one. He needs to look back up, and that goes down as a waste. Yeah, a bit of a frustrated look. Marcus Silva himself looks slightly frustrated in the dugout as well. So maybe it is getting a bit frustrating for the Cottagers at this point. It's not been going to plan, has it? They need 3 points. They thought that you'd back them to get 3 points against a very poor Wolves side, but it's not going to plan.
Ball bouncing around in the Fulham half. Can't get it forward to Adam Armstrong though. So it's just going to go away for Wolves once more, who since scoring have had to do far more defending and running, without the ball. Long ball forward to Smith Rowe now. Can he get into the box? Might be a great chance for the young Englishman. He's taken the ball away from the defenders. Muniz brings it away from the goalkeeper who'd come out. Now Lukic thought about the shot, perhaps plays it over to Iwobi, who's beating his man into the box. Nice work. Smith Rowe 1-2 with Iwobi attempted, but in steps the defender to bring the ball away. He's not cleared it though. Mascara trying to play out from the back here at Wolves. Is that a foul? It is. So it'll be a Wolves free kick, albeit deep inside their own half. Yeah, I think it might have been a pull there from Smith Rowe. We'll take a look at this again. Gomez it is. I mean, that's a penalty. He's got both arms around him, pulls him back. I don't know, there's no sign of VAR looking at it as of yet, although we're seeing a lot of replays, so there's clearly been a bit of a stoppage. I don't think it's a ridiculous shout to say that should be given.
And the weird thing is that there's no appeal from Emile Smith-Rowe. None of the players kicking up a fuss, and it looks like game resumed. If there's two arms around the attacker and he's pulled, it's a foul. And for some reason, it's not being given.
I've not even looked at it.
I think that's a big let off for Wolves.
Indeed, long ball forward is headed on by Rodrigo Gomez. In fact, it was Mascara up there to win it, trying to head it on to Armstrong. Stayed forward as well as the defender. That's surely going to be a foul from Santiago Bueno, the Uruguayan. On Iwobi, went in a bit too firm on that occasion. So it'll be a free kick 5 or 10 yards off the attacking third for Fulham. Iwobi stayed down. Sorry, Bassi stayed down with help up from Iwobi. Yeah, just classes into Santiago Bueno, who's nowhere near the ball. So it'll be a free kick. Opportunity to get the ball into the box for Fulham.
I think that's the best hope at this point. That's a brilliant balls in from that far side as well. It's a bit deeper. It's a harder angle. It's going to take a lot. No Harry Wilson, of course. He'd be the man you go to. But Sasha Lukic there with the left foot. That may just go short. Something off the training ground here.
This is Iwobi's going to float it into the box. That's a really good ball. It's going to come back across. It's missed everyone, though. It's gone right across the edge of the 6-yard box. Smith-Rowe's keeping it alive. He's gone all the way back to Iwobi, though. That's for sure. And he's been tackled by Mane, who's going to bring the ball away. He's going to hit it down the line, give his teammates something to chase. It's a bit of a hit and hope, though. Leno sweeps up, and now Fulham can get back on the attack. There's a lot of space for Oscar Bob on the left. Now Lukic in a right-wing position. Smith-Rowe goes outside of him. Iwobi's playing centrally at the moment. Smith-Rowe, I think, has to go backwards, though. There's now Diop on the ball. All Fulham's players are inside the Wolves' half now. Sakalucic gets away from Mane. Smith-Rowe on the right-hand side. Ball into the box, goes over everyone, but only out for a corner.
Yeah, he didn't know what he was behind him. There's an apology from Mosquera, but I think he did the right thing as a defender. If you don't know what's behind you, put it into touch. He's done the safe thing, but it's a ball in from Emile Smith-Rowe. I don't think it needs to be that overhit. We're just getting another replay, that ball back across Castagna that missed everyone. And I don't think that's his fault. He's actually done really well to control it. It's just no Fulham man gambling on that. And two players in the same position as well. That Smith-Rowe ball's not a good one. I think he's quite relieved the fact that he's actually won a corner from it.
Yeah, he should be. So Lukic will be on it from the right-hand side. Berge in the box again, who of course got on the end of the last one and should have scored, really. It was an open goal, just got above the ball too much. So Lukic swings it in, similar area, right on top of the goalkeeper, too close to the goalkeeper. Sarr takes, and he's going to get Wolves off and running quickly. Big old kick down the pitch, something for He-Chan to chase. In fact, it's Rodrigo Gomez, who's not playing as a defender. Anthony Robinson's won the ball and spun away from him, and then just checks back, does the American. Now Bassi. Smith-Rowe still inside their own half. Fulham. Iwobi's going to bring them into the Wolves half. Got 3 players over on that left-hand side, and Lukic and Bob. Iwobi's playing everywhere at the moment. Oscar Bob now 1v1 with Mosquera. Lukic, was he fouled? No. Fair challenge. Now there might be another counter-attacking opportunity for Wolves. That's the only way they've managed to manifest any promising moves since going 1-0 up. Long ball forward from Sarr towards the right-hand side. Robinson, I'm sure, will deal with that. Does so, but not convincingly. Just plays it down to Bassi before getting the ball back. 7 minutes left of regular time in this first half. Wolves 1, Fulham 0. Lukic on halfway. He's very much been the controller for Fulham, hasn't he? Everything's through him, really.
Yeah, absolutely. And let's face it, they're controlling possession, but they haven't done enough with it. And it doesn't matter how much of the ball you have. If the scoreline's against you, then you haven't done enough, really, have you? That's the problem. Yeah, he's the outlet. He's the one carrying the midfield. But again, there's just been slightly wasteful in front of goal. There's been at least 2 good opportunities there for Fulham to be on the scoreline. I think, as we've seen shots of Marcus Silva, he'll be disappointed at half-time. I think what he'll be saying is, take your chances. That's the thing that's been missing for Fulham.
Simple as that at the moment. Anthony Robinson, they've not quite manifested enough chances if they're going to play the numbers game, and the ones they have just haven't been of high enough quality, except the Berge opportunity where he should have scored. So I think you're right. If they're not going to create a lot, which seems to be the case, they are going to have to start taking some of these, or at least start getting some more shots off when they get it into those areas. It's slowed up for them again now, though. Diop over to the right-hand side. 1-2 with Lukic. There's now a lot of space for Castagna on this right hand side, who's played very attacking in this game so far. Challenge attempted by Mane's deemed fair, and Andre can help out and lay the ball off to Krejci, who sends it forward. Armstrong tries to head it on, but there's no one there in orange. Smith Rowe's dropped deep to get on the ball now, and maybe that's the issue. Him and Iwobi are just dropping in every time, aren't they, to get on the ball, which maybe is leaving Fulham a little short in attacking areas. Really nice ball from Anthony Robinson to Smith Rowe, who takes a shot straight at Jose Sa. Maybe not the right decision.
Maybe not. I don't think he saw the man at the back post. It would have been a really hard ball to pull across. Lovely ball inside though to find his man. That's when the patient play does play off. When you just see that gap and it just opens up and you just create a bit of space. A man turns off and no concentration, and then you can play it through. Just getting word of another goal in London. Looks like Brentford may just have an equaliser against Palace. We'll confirm that once it gets confirmed to us though.
Hechan on the ball on the left hand side, just on the cusp of the attacking third. Goes back to Andre Gomez. João Gomez, regular seer of the ball, if you like, for Fulham. They have been forced, for Wolves even, they have been forced back Wolves, but Gomez has done well to try and get it forward. Oscar Bobb's going to lay it forward to Berge. Now over towards the left hand side. Berge still in possession, the Norwegian, over to his fellow Scandi in Bob. Iwobi crosses the ball in, headed upwards and not away by Santiago Bueno. Gomez gets it away. Mane controls the ball, but then just hoofs it upfield, kind of slices it, so it's gone out for a throw in. Fulham want to keep this ball in play. Brentford have indeed equalised at home to Palace. Castagna's throw is going to go backwards to Diop. Diop forwards to Berge. They're being patient, Fulham. I'm not really sure it's the right play.
I think too patient, to be frank. They're playing like they're 1-0 up and not enough coming from it. But like you say, when they are pushing, they look good. Calvin Bassey's just done a across the field ball for the third time, and for the third time it's gone out for a throw-in. I think he may just start having to reel in them long passes because they've been fairly unsuccessful so far. I think they need to play with a little bit more urgency, Fulham. I think that's what they need. Like you said, when they do play patient and it does pull off, it's great, but it hasn't pulled off enough, and we're nearly 45 minutes gone, nearly half this match is done, and they haven't seen anything for it.
And cameras are just focusing on Rodrigo Muniz, who's seen the least of the ball out of any player. 13 touches, which, I know I've known strikers get far less in a game, that's for sure. Bassey plays the ball back to goalkeeper Leno, who goes long, and that's going to have to be dealt with by Rodrigo Gomez. And now Mosquera. João Gomez. Rodrigo Gomez actually is not playing as a defender. This is a 4 at the back, I think, for Wolves, to be honest. Krejci and Santiago Bueno are the full-backs. Wolfer and Rodrigo Gomez are playing quite high. Mosquera looks like a right-back, but I might be wrong in that. I think that Wolfer and Rodrigo Gomez are just trying to get as high up as possible. Everton have taken the lead at home to Sunderland. Toffees 1 goal to the good in that one to keep their European hopes alive. Smith Rowe back to Berge. 2 minutes left of regular time in this one. I'm sure there'll be a minute or maybe even 2 of added time. Bassey now forward to Smith Rowe on the cusp of the attacking third. Gets it forward into the attacking third to Iwobi. Smith Rowe once more. Got Anthony Robinson in a high position on the left, closely watched by Rodrigo Gomez. Nice ball forward to Lukic if he can get into the box. On towards the edge of the box, Iwobi tries to skip away from a challenge as well. Berge over to Castagna on the far side. Castagna with another cross into the box, which is blocked and sent upwards and then eventually cleared by Wolves, but that will only be, I think it would be collected by Castagna, but he's let it bounce, which has given Hechan a chance. Then Castagna hooks it forwards. It's actually really good work from Bob to move it forwards once more as well. Robinson to Berge. Fulham can move with a bit of pace here. They might be able to catch Wolves. Smith Rowe. Iwobi now on the left hand side. What can he do? 1v1 with the defender. Chips it in towards the back post. Oscar Bob collects. Not an amazing touch, but it's still alive. On the right hand side now, outside of the box. Plays it into the box. Castagna once more. Back to Bob. Fulham are working something here, but it's not yet into the box. Berge to the byline. Maybe a crossing chance for him. Does cross it in. Headed away by Bueno. Really good touch in the box by Lukic, who's taken a nasty one. Both players are down. It was Castagna, in fact. I think Castagna got to the ball first, in which case it should be a penalty.
Yeah, they could have a shout here. We'll have another look at it. Both players going for the ball.
What's a penalty?
It's a kick out, isn't it? If there's contact, that's a penalty, surely.
Well, both players have gone down, so there must have been contact.
Well, Mane's holding his foot. It may just hurt him kicking his shin, but maybe just save face. But you've kicked your man. You're nowhere near the ball.
Has to be a penalty.
It's got to be a penalty. I mean, they got the first one, I think, wrong.
Yeah.
This has to be a penalty. If this is not a penalty... he just
kicks Castagna right in the knee. The ball comes off the top of Castagna's thigh. It's an aerial ball. Neither of them are trying to head it. Mane's, it's only reckless from Mane. It's not malicious. He's looking at the ball the whole time. I don't actually think he thinks Castagna's coming. The referee's going to go and look at it. It's going to be the easiest decision he'll have to make. I'm baffled he's missed it in the first place, to be honest, the ref. It was quite blatant. I mean, we're now into 1 minute of added time, or 30 seconds into a minute of added time, but Fulham are going to have a penalty here. So Rodrigo Muniz, you'd think, or Smith Rowe perhaps even, will have a chance to equalise. Yeah, it has to be. There's absolutely no reason why it shouldn't be. There's an argument to say Fulham should have had one already, but didn't. But now there will be a chance from 12 yards, you'd think. So I believe it's Smith Rowe who takes penalties for Fulham. And confirmation now. The referee's reviewed it. He's letting the crowd know. Surely it's going to be a penalty. Yep, penalty kick it is. So Fulham now have a chance to equalise from the spot. Mateus Mane was the goal scorer who conceded it. Like I say, it's nothing malicious, but he's only got eyes for the ball, but he's just not aware of Castagna coming in, is he? I mean, like I say, both players went down. So he caught him right on the knee. It could have been a nasty one for Castagna, really. I don't think any players actually needed treatment in the end, but I mean, Fulham's hard work has finally paid off, but I won't go as far as to say they deserve a goal.
No, from hero to zero, really, for Mane, isn't it? He's nowhere near the ball. I don't know if he just doesn't see him coming over his shoulder. Castagna comes a bit out of eyesight, and now there's a bit of a scuffle on the penalty spot. So you're not missing anything, but it was a really bad one. He was like nowhere near the ball. I think someone's trying to scuff the spot, so that's why they're getting a bit argy-bargy. Anthony Robinson's got ball in hand. I don't know if it will be him. He'll probably just pass it to Muniz. He's just probably protecting his teammate for now, but really sloppy one to give away because Wolves have got that lead. Fulham haven't been great, and they were sitting in fairly comfortably, Wolves keeping Fulham out, but with a silly mistake like that, Anthony Robinson's probably going to put this on the spot. Is he going to be the one to step up? May just be the American. Looks like it will be.
Yeah, it's an odd one. Anthony Robinson, the left back for Fulham, is going to take it. I think Raul Jimenez is their usual penalty kick taker, of course, but without him on the pitch, I would have assumed Muniz or Smith Rowe would have taken the mantle. So Jose Sa back to his net, the one who was seemingly getting annoyed and annoying Fulham players as they stood around that penalty spot. We're into 3 minutes of added time now, so I can only assume there's going to be more time to come after the penalty. Robinson, relatively short run up, it's only going to be 2 or 3 steps. Lazy run up as well, walking towards the ball, takes it, relatively central, simple as that. Goalkeeper went the wrong way, and it's Fulham 1, Wolves 1.
Easy, very nonchalant, wasn't it? Just strolled up to it. I was a bit worried for him. Keeper went to his left, Robinson's right. He pretty much just rolled it down the middle. If keeper didn't move, he'd probably have egg on his face, the American. But in the end, we're going to probably finish this first half as we started it, and that's level. Yeah, run-of-the-mill, nonchalant penalty, wasn't it? But got the job done.
Yeah, indeed. Did what he had to do. Keeper went the wrong way. I think that was the point of the slow run-up, perhaps. Just wait for the keeper to move. And I called it a run-up. It was a walk-up, really. Three slow walking steps, and then just put it. Yeah, you can see on the slow-mo replay, Sar's gone very early. So Wolves will take the kick-off. A lot of them running forward. It's gone back to Jose Sa, who's going to launch it forward. We're about to complete a 4th minute of added time. Touchdown by Armstrong. Now they have it on the left-hand side with Krečky, only just inside Fulham's half, though. In fact, João Gomez are going to be forced backwards. Krečky's going to send it long, something for Mane to run onto. He's controlled that really nicely, taking it around Bassi as well, towards the edge of the box, taking his shot, but dragged it wide. I think he might have pointed for a corner there. The referee there, no, offside. That's why his arm was up in the air. Offside, so the goal won't count anyway. And that is the half-time whistle. So half-time at Molineux, it's Wolverhampton Wanderers 1, Fulham 1.
Half-time at Molineux between Wolves and Fulham, and we end the first half as we started, and that's level. But we have had goals in it, 25 minutes on the clock. It was a ball played into the box and laid to the edge of the box for Matheus Nunes to drive in for his third of the Premier League season. The youngster with an absolute corker finish with the laces. That was ruled out. He went from hero to zero as he kicked out on his Fulham man, given us a penalty just before the break, and Anthony Robinson stepped up and rolled it in. So at half-time, it's Wolves 1, Fulham 1. Half-time at Molineux between Wolves and Fulham, and we end the first half as we started, and that's level. But we have had goals in it, 25 minutes on the clock. It was a ball played into the box and laid to the edge of the box for Matheus Nunes to drive in for his third of the Premier League season. The youngster with an absolute corker finish with the laces. That was ruled out. He went from hero to zero as he kicked out on his Fulham man, given us a penalty just before the break, and Anthony Robinson stepped up and rolled it in. So at half-time, it's Wolves 1, Fulham 1. Half-time at Molineux between Wolves and Fulham, and we end the first half as we started, and that's level. But we have had goals in it, 25 minutes on the clock. It was a ball played into the box and laid to the edge of the box for Matheus Nunes to drive in for his third of the Premier League season. The youngster with an absolute corker finish with the laces. That was ruled out. He went from hero to zero as he kicked out on his Fulham man, given us a penalty just before the break, and Anthony Robinson stepped up and rolled it in. So at half-time, it's Wolves 1, Fulham 1. Half-time at Molineux between Wolves and Fulham, and we end the first half as we started, and that's level. But we have had goals in it, 25 minutes on the clock. It was a ball played into the box and laid to the edge of the box for Matheus Nunes to drive in for his third of the Premier League season. The youngster with an absolute corker finish with the laces. That was ruled out. He went from hero to zero as he kicked out on his Fulham man, given us a penalty just before the break, and Anthony Robinson stepped up and rolled it in. So at half-time, it's Wolves 1, Fulham 1. Half-time at Molineux between Wolves and Fulham, and we end the first half as we started, and that's level. But we have had goals in it, 25 minutes on the clock. It was a ball played into the box and laid to the edge of the box for Matheus Nunes to drive in for his third of the Premier League season. The youngster with an absolute corker finish with the laces. That was ruled out. He went from hero to zero as he kicked out on his Fulham man, given us a penalty just before the break, and Anthony Robinson stepped up and rolled it in. So at half-time, it's Wolves 1, Fulham 1. Half-time at Molineux between Wolves and Fulham, and we end the first half as we started, and that's level. But we have had goals in it, 25 minutes on the clock. It was a ball played into the box and laid to the edge of the box for Matheus Nunes to drive in for his third of the Premier League season. The youngster with an absolute corker finish with the laces. That was ruled out. He went from hero to zero as he kicked out on his Fulham man, given us a penalty just before the break, and Anthony Robinson stepped up and rolled it in. So at half-time, it's Wolves 1, Fulham 1. Half-time at Molineux between Wolves and Fulham, and we end the first half as we started, and that's level. But we have had goals in it, 25 minutes on the clock. It was a ball played into the box and laid to the edge of the box for Matheus Nunes to drive in for his third of the Premier League season. The youngster with an absolute corker finish with the laces. That was ruled out. He went from hero to zero as he kicked out on his Fulham man, given us a penalty just before the break, and Anthony Robinson stepped up and rolled it in. So at half-time, it's Wolves 1, Fulham 1. Half-time at Molineux between Wolves and Fulham, and we end the first half as we started, and that's level. But we have had goals in it, 25 minutes on the clock. It was a ball played into the box and laid to the edge of the box for Matheus Nunes to drive in for his third of the Premier League season. The youngster with an absolute corker finish with the laces. That was ruled out. He went from hero to zero as he kicked out on his Fulham man, giving us a penalty just before the break, and Anthony Robinson stepped up and rolled it in. So at half-time, it's Wolves 1, Fulham 1. Half-time at Molineux between Wolves and Fulham, and we end the first half as we started, and that's level. But we have had goals in it, 25 minutes on the clock. It was a ball played into the box and laid to the edge of the box for Matheus Nunes to drive in for his third of the Premier League season. The youngster with an absolute corker finish with the laces. That was ruled out. He went from hero to zero as he kicked out on his Fulham man, giving us a penalty just before the break, and Anthony Robinson stepped up and rolled it in. So at half-time, it's Wolves 1, Fulham 1. Half-time at Molineux between Wolves and Fulham, and we end the first half as we started, and that's level. But we have had goals in it, 25 minutes on the clock. It was a ball played into the box and laid to the edge of the box for Matheus Nunes to drive in for his third of the Premier League season. The youngster with an absolute corker finish with the laces. That was ruled out. He went from hero to zero as he kicked out on his Fulham man, giving us a penalty just before the break, and Anthony Robinson stepped up and rolled it in. So at half-time, it's Wolves 1, Fulham 1. Half-time at Molineux between Wolves and Fulham, and we end the first half as we started, and that's level. But we have had goals in it, 25 minutes on the clock. It was a ball played into the box and laid to the edge of the box for Mateus Nunes to drive in for his third of the Premier League season. The youngster with an absolute corker finish with the laces. That was ruled out. He went from hero to zero as he kicked out on his Fulham man, given as a penalty just before the break, and Anthony Robinson stepped up and rolled it in. So at half-time, it's Wolves 1, Fulham 1. Half-time at Molineux between Wolves and Fulham, and we end the first half as we started, and that's level. But we have had goals in it, 25 minutes on the clock. It was a ball played into the box and laid to the edge of the box for Mateus Nunes to drive in for his third of the Premier League season. The youngster with an absolute corker finish with the laces. That was ruled out. He went from hero to zero as he kicked out on his Fulham man, given as a penalty just before the break, and Anthony Robinson stepped up and rolled it in. So at half-time, it's Wolves 1, Fulham 1. Half-time at Molineux between Wolves and Fulham, and we end the first half as we started, and that's level. But we have had goals in it, 25 minutes on the clock. It was a ball played into the box and laid to the edge of the box for Mateus Nunes to drive in for his third of the Premier League season. The youngster with an absolute corker finish with the laces. That was ruled out. He went from hero to zero as he kicked out on his Fulham man, given as a penalty just before the break, and Anthony Robinson stepped up and rolled it in. So at half-time, it's Wolves 1, Fulham 1. Half-time at Molineux between Wolves and Fulham, and we end the first half as we started, and that's level. But we have had goals in it, 25 minutes on the clock. It was a ball played into the box and laid to the edge of the box for Mateus Nunes to drive in for his third of the Premier League season. The youngster with an absolute corker finish with the laces. That was ruled out. He went from hero to zero as he kicked out on his Fulham man, given as a penalty just before the break, and Anthony Robinson stepped up and rolled it in. So at half-time, it's Wolves 1, Fulham 1. Half-time at Molineux between Wolves and Fulham, and we end the first half as we started, and that's level. But we have had goals in it, 25 minutes on the clock. It was a ball played into the box and laid to the edge of the box for Mateus Nunes to drive in for his third of the Premier League season. The youngster with an absolute corker finish with the laces. That was ruled out. He went from hero to zero as he kicked out on his Fulham man, given as a penalty just before the break, and Anthony Robinson stepped up and rolled it in. So at half-time, it's Wolves 1, Fulham 1. Half-time at Molineux between Wolves and Fulham, and we end the first half as we started, and that's level. But we have had goals in it, 25 minutes on the clock. It was a ball played into the box and laid to the edge of the box for Mateus Nunes to drive in for his third of the Premier League season. The youngster with an absolute corker finish with the laces. That was ruled out. He went from hero to zero as he kicked out on his Fulham man, given as a penalty just before the break, and Anthony Robinson stepped up and rolled it in. So at half-time, it's Wolves 1, Fulham 1. Half-time at Molineux between Wolves and Fulham, and we end the first half as we started, and that's level. But we have had goals in it, 25 minutes on the clock. It was a ball played into the box and laid to the edge of the box for Mateus Nunes to drive in for his third of the Premier League season. The youngster with an absolute corker finish with the laces. That was ruled out. He went from hero to zero as he kicked out on his Fulham man, given as a penalty just before the break, and Anthony Robinson stepped up and rolled it in. So at half-time, it's Wolves 1, Fulham 1. Half-time at Molineux between Wolves and Fulham, and we end the first half as we started, and that's level. But we have had goals in it, 25 minutes on the clock. It was a ball played into the box and laid to the edge of the box for Mateus Nunes to drive in for his third of the Premier League season. The youngster with an absolute corker finish with the laces. That was ruled out. He went from hero to zero as he kicked out on his Fulham man, given as a penalty just before the break, and Anthony Robinson stepped up and rolled it in. So at half-time, it's Wolves 1, Fulham 1. Half-time at Molineux between Wolves and Fulham, and we end the first half as we started, and that's level. But we have had goals in it, 25 minutes on the clock. It was a ball played into the box and laid to the edge of the box for Mateus Nunes to drive in for his third of the Premier League season. The youngster with an absolute corker finish with the laces. That was ruled out. He went from hero to zero as he kicked out on his Fulham man, given as a penalty just before the break, and Anthony Robinson stepped up and rolled it in. So at half-time, it's Wolves 1, Fulham 1. Half-time at Molineux between Wolves and Fulham, and we end the first half as we started, and that's level. But we have had goals in it, 25 minutes on the clock. It was a ball played into the box and laid to the edge of the box for Mateus Nunes to drive in for his third of the Premier League season. The youngster with an absolute corker finish with the laces. That was ruled out. He went from hero to zero as he kicked out on his Fulham man, given as a penalty just before the break, and Anthony Robinson stepped up and rolled it in. So at half-time, it's Wolves 1, Fulham 1. Half-time at Molineux between Wolves and Fulham, and we end the first half as we started, and that's level. But we have had goals in it, 25 minutes on the clock. It was a ball played into the box and laid to the edge of the box for Mateus Nunes to drive in for his third of the Premier League season. The youngster with an absolute corker finish with the laces. That was ruled out. He went from hero to zero as he kicked out on his Fulham man, given as a penalty just before the break, and Anthony Robinson stepped up and rolled it in. So at half-time, it's Wolves 1, Fulham 1. Half-time at Molineux between Wolves and Fulham, and we end the first half as we started, and that's level. But we have had goals in it, 25 minutes on the clock. It was a ball played into the box and laid to the edge of the box for Mateus Nunes to drive in for his third of the Premier League season. The youngster with an absolute corker finish with the laces. That was ruled out. He went from hero to zero as he kicked out on his Fulham man, given as a penalty just before the break, and Anthony Robinson stepped up and rolled it in. So at half-time, it's Wolves 1, Fulham 1. Half-time at Molineux between Wolves and Fulham, and we end the first half as we started, and that's level. But we have had goals in it, 25 minutes on the clock. It was a ball played into the box and laid to the edge of the box for Mateus Nunes to drive in for his third of the Premier League season. The youngster with an absolute corker finish with the laces. That was ruled out. He went from hero to zero as he kicked out on his Fulham man, given as a penalty just before the break, and Anthony Robinson stepped up and rolled it in. So at half-time, it's Wolves 1, Fulham 1. Half-time at Molineux between Wolves and Fulham, and we end the first half as we started, and that's level. But we have had goals in it, 25 minutes on the clock. It was a ball played into the box and laid to the edge of the box for Mateus Nunes to drive in for his third of the Premier League season. The youngster with an absolute corker finish with the laces. That was ruled out. He went from hero to zero as he kicked out on his Fulham man, given as a penalty just before the break, and Anthony Robinson stepped up and rolled it in. So at half-time, it's Wolves 1, Fulham 1. Half-time at Molineux between Wolves and Fulham, and we end the first half as we started, and that's level. But we have had goals in it, 25 minutes on the clock. It was a ball played into the box and laid to the edge of the box for Mateus Nunes to drive in for his third of the Premier League season. The youngster with an absolute corker finish with the laces. That was ruled out. He went from hero to zero as he kicked out on his Fulham man, given as a penalty just before the break, and Anthony Robinson stepped up and rolled it in. So at half-time, it's Wolves 1, Fulham 1. Half-time at Molineux between Wolves and Fulham, and we end the first half as we started, and that's level. But we have had goals in it, 25 minutes on the clock. It was a ball played into the box and laid to the edge of the box for Mateus Nunes to drive in for his third of the Premier League season. The youngster with an absolute corker finish with the laces. That was ruled out. He went from hero to zero as he kicked out on his Fulham man, given as a penalty just before the break, and Anthony Robinson stepped up and rolled it in. So at half-time, it's Wolves 1, Fulham 1. Half-time at Molineux between Wolves and Fulham, and we end the first half as we started, and that's level. But we have had goals in it, 25 minutes on the clock. It was a ball played into the box and laid to the edge of the box for Mateus Nunes to drive in for his third of the Premier League season. The youngster with an absolute corker finish with the laces. That was ruled out. He went from hero to zero as he kicked out on his Fulham man, given as a penalty just before the break, and Anthony Robinson stepped up and rolled it in. So at half-time, it's Wolves 1, Fulham 1. Half-time at Molineux between Wolves and Fulham, and we end the first half as we started, and that's level. But we have had goals in it, 25 minutes on the clock. It was a ball played into the box and laid to the edge of the box for Mateus Nunes to drive in for his third of the Premier League season. The youngster with an absolute corker finish with the laces. That was ruled out. He went from hero to zero as he kicked out on his Fulham man, given as a penalty just before the break, and Anthony Robinson stepped up and rolled it in. So at half-time, it's Wolves 1, Fulham 1. Half-time at Molineux between Wolves and Fulham, and we end the first half as we started, and that's level. But we have had goals in it, 25 minutes on the clock. It was a ball played into the box and laid to the edge of the box for Mateus Nunes to drive in for his third of the Premier League season. The youngster with an absolute corker finish with the laces. That was ruled out. He went from hero to zero as he kicked out on his Fulham man, given as a penalty just before the break, and Anthony Robinson stepped up and rolled it in. So at half-time, it's Wolves 1, Fulham 1. Half-time at Molineux between Wolves and Fulham, and we end the first half as we started, and that's level. But we have had goals in it, 25 minutes on the clock. It was a ball played into the box and laid to the edge of the box for Mateus Nunes to drive in for his third of the Premier League season. The youngster with an absolute corker finish with the laces. That was ruled out. He went from hero to zero as he kicked out on his Fulham man, given as a penalty just before the break, and Anthony Robinson stepped up and rolled it in. So at half-time, it's Wolves 1, Fulham 1. Half-time at Molineux between Wolves and Fulham, and we end the first half as we started, and that's level. But we have had goals in it, 25 minutes on the clock. It was a ball played into the box and laid to the edge of the box for Mateus Nunes to drive in for his third of the Premier League season. The youngster with an absolute corker finish with the laces. That was ruled out. He went from hero to zero as he kicked out on his Fulham man, given as a penalty just before the break, and Anthony Robinson stepped up and rolled it in. So at half-time, it's Wolves 1, Fulham 1. Half-time at Molineux between Wolves and Fulham, and we end the first half as we started, and that's level. But we have had goals in it, 25 minutes on the clock. It was a ball played into the box and laid to the edge of the box for Mateus Nunes to drive in for his third of the Premier League season. The youngster with an absolute corker finish with the laces. That was ruled out. He went from hero to zero as he kicked out on his Fulham man, given as a penalty just before the break, and Anthony Robinson stepped up and rolled it in. So at half-time, it's Wolves 1, Fulham 1. Half-time at Molineux between Wolves and Fulham, and we end the first half as we started, and that's level. But we have had goals in it. 25 minutes on the clock. It was a ball played into the box and laid to the edge of the box for Matheus Nunes to drive him for his third of the Premier League season. The youngster with an absolute corker finish with the laces. Now it was ruled out. He went from hero to zero as he kicked out on his Fulham man, given us a penalty just before the break, and Anthony Robinson stepped up and rolled it in. So at half-time, it's Wolves 1, Fulham 1. Half-time at Molineux between Wolves and Fulham, and we end the first half as we started, and that's level. But we have had goals in it. 25 minutes on the clock. It was a ball played into the box and laid to the edge of the box for Matheus Nunes to drive him for his third of the Premier League season. The youngster with that. That's very well. Welcome back. We've just got back underway at Molineux between Wolves and Fulham. It's a game that's ended a level at the end of the first half. It's a goal quickly. It was a Mane goal on the 25th. It was an absolute corker, then ruled out by a penalty as he gave it away, hero to zero in the end, as he kicked out at his man, Castagna, and it was a stonewall penalty that went to the screen, and they gave it, and Anthony Robinson ruled that one out. So not a fairy tale farewell so far. We have had a change at the break. I believe Kevin has come on for Fulham. I'm trying to see exactly who made way for him, as he's obviously a wide man, is Kevin, but we will confirm that once it comes through to us. Sander Berg's come off the midfielder, so Kevin's come on, so Alex Iwobi will
sit, I think.
Yeah, it looks like Alex Iwobi will go a little bit narrower from that wide position, as they look to get all 3 points in their push for Europe. Fulham have been slightly off the pace this afternoon. But they're level at the minute. A ball over to Kevin, just evaded him. Be a throw in near side for Wolves. Full kick from left to right in this second half, and Fulham the other way from right to left. Home attire for Wolves: orange top, black shorts, orange socks, and from right to left in their black, all black kit with gold trim. Fulham. Goals are on the ground. Brentford Palace are 1-1. They're level. Everton Sunderland is 1-0 to Everton. Raul with the goal. Looks like Sunderland had a lot of the ball, but a deflected shot. It's given the Toffees a lead at the break. Leeds Brighton is 0-0 as it stands to their level, and we're level ourselves at Wolves 1, Fulham 1. Nathan Stell and Kieran Shelley taking you through it. There's a ball played over to Mane. That's a good touch with the laces, but just evades him. Sasha Lukic sweeping up, just has it inside his own half. He's going to go backwards to the edge of his own box, actually all the way to Castagna. He's just going to sweep the ball to Bassi near side, over to Robinson. He's just stood still right in front of his own technical area and sweeps it all the way back to Issa Diop. Of course, two teams coming off defeats last week. Wolves, of course, went down 2-0 after 5 minutes as away at Brighton. Ended up losing 3-0, and Fulham themselves losing 1-0 at home to Bournemouth. Emile Smith-Rowe, that's a good triangle play. Going to drive forward to the edge of the box centrally. He's going to try and move it left side. He's just slightly delayed it all the way to Robinson on the byline. That's going to be collected, surely. It has. Jose Sar's come out. Not enough on it. Bit of a dinked one. He had to pull it back across. That's too much of him from Emile Smith-Rowe. And he'll just collect that in 2 hands fairly comfortably. And they'll just keep hold of the ball. Will Wolves inside their own half, wanting to play out from the back. Wolves not so strong at it, but sticking to their guns. Krejci's going to play it forward. That's a loose pass. I think here for Fulham and Wolves is Wolves started strongly and of course got that goal, but when they did get that goal, they sat back, looked fairly comfortable, but now they've conceded. It's almost like Wolves going to have to come back out for it again.
Yeah, it was almost as if they were playing for the 1-0. They might have a chance now. Adam Armstrong, edge of the area, tries to play it back to Rodrigo Gomez, who won it half the pitch. But yeah, no, it's almost as if they were playing to keep it 1-0, which, I mean, they weren't doing a dreadful job of it until Matheus Mane, of course, conceded that penalty. But yeah, they're going to have to give a little bit more going forward. They can't just rely on counter-attacks, because I don't think they've got the quality to necessarily get another goal that way.
They won it in a high up position there, and Adam Armstrong was slightly wasted. I've seen a lot of him. If we looked at a touch map or a touch count, he'd definitely be in the bottom 3. He's barely seen the ball himself. Of course, known very much so for being a capable championship striker, scores a lot of goals, but this was his opportunity to prove himself in the Premier League. But it's been tough at a tough Wolves side, of course. Header from Bassi, taken down by Mane, edge of the box. He's been clipped. Is that a free kick? Referee doesn't see it that way, runs into Robinson. Wins it. The Brazilian Kevin's been clipped though, and that will be a free kick. Just don't want to fall victim of getting slightly scrappy. Of course, like mentioned, Thomas Kirk, the man in the middle this afternoon, sees that as a free kick. I think he was right with the first one. We'll see this one. Yeah, he's late, Mosquera, and do you know what? He's probably fortunate he's escaped the yellow card there. He's hacked his man down. He was going nowhere, Kevin, so it seemed fairly needless. As they play it short, Robinson's going to go back to the edge of his box. Issa Diop, good first touch from the Frenchman, got away from his man and moves it to Castagna far side. As they move towards halfway and down the line to Iwobi. Right hand side of the centre circle at the minute. It's a good ball back to Castagna. He's got a bit of space and looking over the top for Bob. That's a poor ball though. May have just got away with it to the byline. Bob's going to hook it into the box. It's a searcher looking for Muniz to the edge of the box to Iwobi. He can't get there. Mane tracking back. Looks like he's on the right side. He may just give away. Is that a free kick? It is by Kevin on Mosquera. So you probably call that a receipt. He did it to him and he returns the favour. Mosquera down on the floor in a bit of pain. Bit of an almost there for Fulham. A searcher. We talk about players not really being in the game. One man we haven't talked about is Rodrigo Muniz. He's barely been in the game.
Yeah, I mentioned towards the end of the first half that he'd had the least touches out of anyone on the pitch, and it looks like that's going to continue. They're just really struggling to get into the game. I mentioned he was dropping deep when the ball was in wide areas, and that was the wrong decision. He needs to be on the edge of that 6-yard box if he can be, really. Be the penalty box striker and just be that target man, really, for those crosses. But I wouldn't be surprised if we see Raul Jimenez come on, who's a bit more of a runner and can sort of run the channels, because Muniz certainly isn't doing that.
As the ball's going to be played forward from Hwang, it's a good ball around the corner as well. Wolf's going to get forward. He had ball in the box. Bassi with a strong slide. We're going to get our first corner. The second half's going to go to Wolves on the far side. He had a man on the edge of the box, but he was looking for Armstrong. It wasn't a bad ball in, but you've got to say it's brilliant defending.
Yeah, it was in the end. Good work from Bassi yet again, who's blocked a lot of things going into their box, to be honest. They've not defended terrifically, Fulham, in that Wolves have had a lot of chances to get the ball into promising areas. When it has gone into the box, though, they have been quite firm.
Well done, Bassi, and it'll be a first corner of the second half for the home side. Looking to get back in front. Ball's going to dip in. The header comes in. Oh, what a massive chance. It's a goal kick. It's a massive chance. Trying to see who it was. Was it Mosquera? Is it the glanced header, and it went right of the post, but he was unmarked in between two players. It's got to be 2-1. Yeah,
he has to put that away, to be honest. That's two headers now, both at the same end of the pitch, but one for each team. That he absolutely has to get that on target, to be honest. He has to score, really. He's unmarked, edge of the 6-yard box. He's got lots of power on it, and didn't really need to generate anything thanks to the whip that was on the corner, but he has to do better. Mane, again, going forward. He's gone down. Has he been fouled? He has. Free kick in an alright position, just a bit too central, a bit too far out, maybe.
Yeah, it's hands on his face for Mosquera. He knows how much of a big chance that's to watch. From a defensive point of view, it's woeful for Fulham. And woeful defending. The same with Sasha Lukic, just hacked Mane down there. It's about 30 yards from goal. It's central as well. There's not much of an angle on it. So it'll be interesting to see if they do go for goal here. They're going to put a ball into the box. But a chance for Wolves, who have started strongly, just like they did in the first. They've started strongly in the second. Hwang may just be lining this up, you know. Leno just slightly left of his line.
Yeah, he's going to shoot, isn't he?
Four-man wall, he is lining this up. He is. I mean, I don't see why not. Top left-hand corner is probably your best bet, but it'll take something good. It always will. It's a tough one. It looks like another goal in London between Brentford and Palace. We'll bring you that after this free kick. But Hwang looking to reinstigate that lead that Wolves firstly had. They're going to go for goal. He's looking for that top left. It was gliding over, never got the dip. Goal kick.
Yeah, it's a Crystal Palace goal, 2-1 up away at Brentford, which is damaging Brentford's hopes of Champions League football even, let alone Europe. I think they'll still be safe in European positions, you'd think, but not if they throw this one away. Castagna now getting forward. Might be a chance. Muniz just slips. It's not going his way this afternoon.
No, it's not. You would think how long before they look at Jimenez against his former side, as mentioned early in the first. Jose Sarr taking a chance with them ball at his feet once again. And so was the Wolves players inside the box, twisting one with the next. They got a goal kick, but so fortunate. I would say not for the first, not for the third or fourth time, taking a chance in their own box. They got Oscar Bob running relentlessly up there. They did have Alex Iwobi. Now Kevin, he's not going to give it up his Bob. He's endless on the press, twisting and Cruyffton in your own box. And one of these times, it's going to come back to bite them.
Yeah, indeed. And they're not normally afraid just to lump it upfield. Krejci just took too many touches there, didn't he? I mean, I think Sarr did as well, to be honest, in the first place, the Wolves captain.
Sarr is going to kick it long now from the goal kick. It's going to go all the way out for a throw in near side. Bob's going to take on halfway. Thought about the quick one. There was a run being made. It was Robinson actually on the throw. But he's just going to take his time over it. So we're nearly 10 minutes into the second half. Wolves 1, Fulham 1. No change to the scoreline since the break. 2 goals in the first, 25 in the 45th. Makes this game a level. It's okay for Fulham, but they'd want maximum points this afternoon for a shot at Europe. There's a ball over to the far side, picked off by Bob, who's looked lively in the second half. Picked it up deep, moves past his man well with the shimmy, moves it to the far side, into the right-hand side of the box. Will be trying to play it fat. It's off a Wolves man. It will be a Fulham corner. And when, like we say, when they do turn it on, they're looking dangerous.
Yeah, when they move the ball quickly, they've got the talent at the top end of the pitch to really damage teams. I mean, Bob, Iwobi, Smith Rowe, and now Kevin, they're all really good players with the ball at their feet. And all maybe bar Kevin, a really good pass to the ball as well, particularly Iwobi and Smith Rowe. So they really should be doing better than they are. It's going to be an in-swinger again from the left-hand side. Bob to take.
Need some good end product to make a difference. Ball in. It's not a good one. It's hit the first man. Out to Iwobi, 30 yards from goal. He's going to go for goal with the instep. He chose accuracy over power. He sacrificed the power, which means he underhit the shot straight into the keeper's hands. He's going to kick it long and early, Sar. This time it's number to number, number one to number one. He's going to go all the way through to Leno, who's going to bowl it out along the floor after he got clipped by his own man to Iwobi. He may just lead the charge here from deep as he moves in his new position for this second half. You need to move it quickly. He moves it over to Robinson, near side. It's on a bit of a bounce, an awkward one, but under possession. Down the line for Iwobi and Emile Smith Rowe, the former Arsenal men, linking up. It's Robinson again, just opting to go patient now. There's a chance there to get the ball moving quickly and hurt Wolves while they're vulnerable, but again they choose to stand on the ball and move it backwards. And maybe the wrong option, we'll see. Leno goes over to the far side to Diop. 11 on the clock, 11 minutes in the second half, I should say. Wolves 1, Fulham 1. That's surely a free kick on Muniz, who's been pulled back. Is he going to get it? I will reiterate, it is not going Muniz's way because he hasn't got the foul, the Brazilian. It's not been his afternoon at all, the big number 9. Iwobi on the ball though, moves it into the centre circle to Bassi, who's driving into the Wolves half, moves it to Emile Smith Rowe, the good ball, leaves it behind him, chance to get forward, and that's just been the story of Fulham's game so far, and this nearly hour played. Move to the near side, of Wolves going to keep it in, they will. Robinson on the slide, I think he's just won a goal kick off a lunging slide. It should be a goal kick, it is. It's the story of Fulham's afternoon, isn't it? The half chances, they're almost there. Of course, they have scored, it was from a penalty, but in play, just can't get it over the line.
Yeah, indeed. It's not quite happening for them, is it, at the moment? I mean, Wolves are... I think, like I said again, Wolves are doing, I think, well enough defensively to say there is talent in there. That's a good tackle from Bob, for me. Rodrigo Gomez getting forward. I think Bob just got enough of the ball, so I agree with that decision. But no, like I said, just Wolves need to inject a bit of pace. I think bringing on Jimenez will help. Someone who can drop in and support as well. Muniz has been fouled there. And the way he's reacted has made it look like a little bit of a stamp, perhaps. Might be a yellow card, but didn't look obvious to me.
He was holding his mouth. I don't know whether he was just covering his face because he was in pain, or maybe, like you say, a stamp. Well, there is a stamp. That's nasty. It's right on top of the right boot as he went to kick it on the floor.
It's accidental, though, it's worth saying.
It is. He's gone for the ball. Ball was zipped away from Santiago Bueno, but stomp on it nonetheless. Free kick to Fulham. They'll go short, which Sasha Lukic will move to the far side to Iwobi. Zips it into Bob. That's a good first touch. Has he been clipped? Yes, he has. Right on the edge of the box on the right-hand side. Turned his man really well, and Andres pulled his man down. Bob is causing all sorts of issues this afternoon. Let's have another look at it. We're going to get a replay of it. It was zipped to him, and he used the pace of the pass from Iwobi just to move it round his left shoulder. And yeah, there was enough of a touch, and that's going to be a free kick in a very promising position. Andre knew exactly what he was doing. Card shy, the referee so far. I think, again, Andre may just be lucky, unfortunately, not to go into the referee's notebook there, the number 7. He knew exactly what he was doing as the ball was away from him. Oscar Bob, Sasha Lukic. It looks like it'll be Bob. Lukic more of a left footer. Bob will take this pretty much on the top right-hand corner. Looks like a goal on Merseyside. We'll bring that shortly as well. But Oscar Bob here will take this free kick. Looks like an in-swing. Probably one you're going to whip to the back post as hard as you can. If it doesn't get a touch, it ends in the back of the net. If it does, then so be it. He's going to whip it to the front. It's a really poor free kick. It's hit the first man. It'll be headed clear. Muniz goes for an acrobatic bicycle kick, which he just misses the ball. Back out to Bob. Helps it on its way down the line. Castagna, chance to get a ball, and we've seen one good one from him so far. Now we've seen one bad one, which is cleared at the front post. Again, the end product once again from Fulham letting them down. Long ball over the top, looking for that man on the far side, Rodrigo Gomez. Leno comes on sweeper keeper, and that will be a Wolves throw in near side. But yeah, real waste there for Fulham.
Yeah, indeed. Another opportunity goes a begging, and Sunderland have equalised away at Everton. 1-1 there. That's a big game in the terms of a race for potential European spots. Everton, of course, the favourites out the two, but Sunderland could put on a late charge should they win.
Yeah, and good news for Brentford, who are, of course, losing to Palace this afternoon. Have Everton, if it stays this way, just a point behind them. Of course, Chelsea have a game in hand with that FA Cup final not playing this weekend. And they will play Spurs on Tuesday. A long throw into the box by Wolves, headed clear this time. It was a long one in from Krejci. I think the whistle's gone. Emil Smith Rowe on the floor. I think there was a nudge in the back. So an hour on the clock. Wolves 1, Fulham 1. 25 minutes on the clock. Mateus Mane, I should say, from the edge of the box with a laced effort into the left-hand side of the goal. A brilliant goal for his third Premier League goal of the season, the young man. And then chalked out by a penalty from Robinson, put to the left-hand side of the middle to make it 1-1 just before the break. And we've stayed that way ever since. We're just getting a look at Rob Edwards, of course, very critical of his team from his performance last week. And went behind very early and never looked in the game whatsoever against Brighton at Amex. As going to go short, Leno, all the way out to the right-hand side exit of his own area, down the line to Bob, who I just be getting the ball to him on every occasion. As soon as I say that, he's giving the ball away. And Krejci on the ball. He's going to hook it forward with the left foot. That's a bit of an aimless pass. Will be picked off by Lukic. Driving towards halfway he goes. He's putting the Jets on. That's a really good run from the midfielder. Just loses his footing. He's looked at the referee and he gets the free kick. Maybe saw something I didn't. Got a better view than me. Looked like he just fell over, but there may have been a touch. Andre, if it was Andre again. Maybe again fortunate not to get a yellow card because that's his second one. We're going to replay of it. I thought he just sort of lost his balance slamling through, but it may have just been a nick. There's a kick out there and someone knew exactly what they were doing.
I don't think there's a foul.
It looked very, very, very light, whatever it was. But the free kick's been given nonetheless. Lukic over to the far side. Bit of a room here for Bob. Right hand side of the box. Into the box he goes. Back onto the left. Favoured. He's going to have to maybe lay this one off. Into the box it goes to Castagna. Laying it back across Smith Rowe through his own legs. And Wolves going to be able to clear it. Moving it to the near side. They're going to drive towards halfway. Maybe a chance to get forward if the ball's right. Bassi with a really good interception on the slide. And if you didn't get that right, Wolves may have been through.
Yeah, indeed. Again, another opportunity. Mascara trying to feed it past Bassi. Bassi's been terrific at just blocking balls forward, mainly going into the box, but on that occasion just a forward pass. Now take a look at this Fulham chance again. Bob does really well, I think, plays it to Castagna, who again doesn't play a terrific pass really, but I don't think he's been poor, Castagna. It's just he just doesn't have that awareness in the box or in crossing areas that obviously forward players do have. Referee's played an advantage there, but the balls end up at a Wolves man's feet, so I'm not sure why he's not pulled it back.
Wolves still have the ball with Mosquera. Are they going to keep that on in the near side? Bit of scrappy play between himself and Anthony Robinson. And Wolves just keep balling it at the minute on the near side. There's a bit of a Strictly Come Dancing on the near side. Referee sees it as 6 to 1, half a dozen of the other. So he's just going to play on. As Fulham have the ball, looks like an offside. May just play advantage here. He has done. Good refereeing. Kevin, bad touch. It's all gone a bit ugly in the middle of the pitch. Oscar Bob just going to try and take it down around the corner. Smith Rowe, this is better. Overlapping run from Castagna, going to be found by Iwobi Willie. No, intercepted by Huang, who's back there defending for his side. Into the centre circle they go. No sign of this scoreline changing just yet. They're not flirting with danger just yet. Mane down the line to the right hand side. Chance to get a ball in. Gomez overhits it. Everyone throwing on the far side for Fulham. An overhit, and well, I think that cross just sums up what we've seen in the second half so far.
Yeah, it's not been a delightful second half so far, to be honest. The ball sort of going between the two teams in the middle of the park. It's pretty poor football, if I'm honest, between them both at the moment. That ball from Mane, yeah, just overhits it. I wondered if there might be someone arriving late on the left-hand side, perhaps a Wolfer, but it wasn't to be. It's the same story as the first half. Fulham are having more of the ball, more of the chances, but they just can't generate anything clear-cut.
I think the quality of football's got worse as well. I think it's got worse as the game's gone on.
Kevin's provided nothing, I'm afraid, as of yet.
No, he's had some bad touches in there. We've just seen a pass go out. Maybe substitutes change this game, maybe not. We've already had one that hasn't. But a Krejci throw in on the far side, 64 on the clock. It's 1-1, and they're going to send the big lads forward for a loft into the box with the hands. He's going to move it from the far side. As we can see it, 12 yards from the corner flag hits the first man, and that does just sum up what we've seen in this first half. Back to Bueno. He's going to try and flight the ball in the box. Hasn't made the box, and then will be headed clear. But Wolves back in possession on the near side. Gomez to Mane, number 36, trying to dance around Robinson, and he isn't going to be able to do so. Good strong tackle, throw in near side for Wolves. And we've gone into a bit of a lull, bit of a stalemate in this game. When we talk about substitutions, it's probably the right time. Josh King and Raul Jimenez are going to be two for Fulham that are coming on. I think we've been screaming for that Jimenez substitute for a long time.
Yeah, it's just an extra player up front who's actually going to move.
It's going to work for
with the ball. Muniz has, said it time and time again. It's just every time the ball's gone to him, it's been poor. Maybe not in the right position as well. But no, it's just not been his day. He's not necessarily done much wrong. He's just not had any of the ball. Whereas Jimenez will run the channels for you. But he'll literally be an extra man in attack. Whereas Muniz has just been sort of the final target.
There's a ball's going to be played for long. Wolves might be in here. If the ball's played right, just didn't fall away. Gomez trying to take it down, but it will be a Wolves corner. It's a lovely ball from deep. Bassi had to get back and sweep across. He's asking for a goal kick. He's not getting it, or is he? Watching the players walk away. We'll get another look. Sarr with the ball out. Is he onside? It's an absolute melee of players. I think he is one of the ones onside. It's the correct decision from the linesman on this near side. Well done. But it looks like, is it offside? I'm trying to see from the body language. They're zooming in on all these players. We're at the mercy of the broadcast at the minute. No, it will be a corner. Outswinger for Mane to take. Tails are up for Wolves. Ball into the front post is not a very good one at all. And played clear. Chance to get forward. Kevin overruns his pass for the third time in this half. In the 20 minutes we've seen of him in this cameo. Gomez over the top. Mane made the run and stopped. That'll be a goal kick for Fulham, a chance to make some changes, which I think it's crying out for.
Yeah, Fulham need the changes, don't they? I imagine Rob Edwards for Wolves. Sorry, will of course base his substitutes off of the upcoming changes for Fulham. There's definitely two, as we've mentioned. Josh King's come on for Alex Iwobi. And Jimenez has indeed come on for Rodrigo Muniz, as we predicted. Josh King, again, just a very nippy player, wants it at feet, doesn't he? Wants to beat his man, and it's probably what they need. Just take a man out of the game and it'll open up.
Yeah, absolutely. He'll work hard as well, Josh King. He's a creative spark. So we'll see. I think he's getting a very warm reception from all ends of the stands, Raul Jimenez. Of course, hero in Wolves. A brilliant servant for them, as he's going to get his first touches now, and he's won a flick on, but it's all gone all the way through. So I think he's done more in 10 seconds than Muniz did, probably over an hour's football. But he did flick it all the way through to Jose Sarr, who just collects it, the Portuguese keeper, and he's just going to roll it out to the right-hand side. Keep ball for Wolves at the back, flick it down the line. Going to be cut out by Robinson, who's probably my man of the match so far. He's going to work hard for it again into Gomez. Over to the far side, the Wolves go. Tails are up for them. Lastarra out of the Premier League. Ball through. Big chance. Adam Armstrong over the keeper. It's in the outside of the post. Biggest chance of the second half so far. It went to Adam Armstrong on his weaker left. The angle started to go ever against him. 6 yards out. Went to dink it over the keeper. Probably the right thing to do. It was a lovely ball through. He's onside as well. It's not a bad attempt. Another day that goes in.
Yeah, indeed. It's a tough one for Adam Armstrong to take. He's beaten the keeper. He's done so well. It's a really nice play from Hee Chan as well. Clever little attempt to finish. I mean, Rodrigo Gomez is screaming for it. Not sure the pass was really on. But yeah, for Jimenez's first touch, he just to send the ball out of play. But yeah, there's nothing saying Wolves aren't going to go get a winner here.
I don't think so. I think that they look the more likely at the two. Surely that's a free kick on a Fulham man. It is. So will be a Fulham free kick just inside their own half on this near side. Adam Armstrong not seeing much of this game at all. The angle is tight. Get another look at it outside of the post. Closest either side has come to a goal in the second half. I think that's a good time, Kieran, just past the halfway mark, to hand it over to you to take us on.
Thank you, Nathan. Yes, so over 20 minutes left of regular time. Probably a good 25-30 minutes left in total, you'd think. Excuse me, as Leno sends the ball forward. Jimenez and Bob up to challenge the left back in that one. Bob's going to use Jimenez on the outside. Jimenez has just fired it first time towards goal. Not the right decision at all. I mean, there was a cross on as well towards the man at the back post. I'm not sure what he's thinking there.
Does he have to take that first time? I think he can take a touch here. Yeah, he's got room. I don't know why he's hit that first. Oh,
I don't know why he's shooting anyway. It's miles wide. He's got it all wrong. I don't really think he should shoot, and he definitely shouldn't do anything first time.
No, he had options. He could take a touch, pick out a man. Poor option.
Jimenez's introduction not been terrific. Marco Silva looks down, and I think he's thinking the same as everyone really. Where is the creativity going to come from? Because Fulham, there's so much potential, this squad. I think they've underperformed generally this season, haven't they? Fulham, I do think they should be a top 10 side with some of the talent they've got in there. He's not brought on Harry Wilson yet, which is interesting. Not sure if he's got a small niggle or picked up something in the warm-up perhaps. Lukic, now Smith Rowe, over to Robinson. Robinson with the crossing chance, goes for it first time, but it's blocked at source and will only be a throw-in. Good work from Bueno to get across on that occasion. So it'll be Robinson to take the throw. Looks like Arcadore is going to come on for Wolves, the big striker. Yeah, they're definitely playing in a back four, Wolves now. Mosquera, Bueno, Krejci and Wolf for the back four. Rodrigo Gomez is certainly a winger, with Mane and Hee-Chan behind Adam Armstrong. No Wolves changes as of yet, of course. Like I say, Tolo Arcadore is indeed getting his kit off. I'm sure we'll see a couple more changes as well, as Robinson throw it into the box and was cleared pretty comfortably. Now we do see Arcadore getting ready to come on. It might just be the one change. Rob Edwards obviously wanting him to be their main attacking outlet, so you'd think it would be for Armstrong, unless he is going to drop back, and maybe they do go back to the 3-4-2-1 that they play regularly, if you like. Bassi sends a ball flying back to Leno, and there's a big press on. In fact, they're outnumbered in defence, are Fulham, so it has to be cleared out of play by Castagna, who'd come all the way over from right back. Not really a dreadful decision to say by him. Gomez with the throw. Windy in Wolverhampton this afternoon. It's just the one change for Wolves. Arcadore is going to come on, you'd expect, for Adam Armstrong, but we'll just confirm now. I thought that was Krejci coming off, but no, he's just gone to take the throw. It is indeed going to be Adam Armstrong, so a like-for-like change up front. Arcadore on the number 14 for Wolves in place of Armstrong, who had a good game really. Obviously had that chance where he's just hit the post, just, excuse me, a bit like Rodrigo Muniz, didn't really have too much to do.
No, it was an interesting signing, Adam Armstrong. You feel when they signed him in the winter that, were they already planning for the championship? Yeah, I'm not quite sure.
That's
but
what we thought, I think.
Without being disrespectful to Adam Armstrong, I think it's definitely points that way, and he hasn't really got his Wolves career off the ground. Of course, not a lot of the Wolves players have this season, but could be a big player for the next season.
Rodrigo Gomez showing attacking prowess again. It's gone away for Wolves, though. Mosquera was in there as well after that long throw. Robinson's going to boot it upfield for Fulham, and all of a sudden Wolves are looking the better team. Surely Jimenez has been fouled there by Wolf. Not obvious which way the referee's given it, but I believe he's given the free kick the way of Fulham. He has. Yeah, Wolf were just absolutely all over the Mexican forward there. I don't know how it's not been given. Could give about 3 there, to be honest. So Fulham get the game back underway quickly. Robinson forward to Josh King. He's lively on the ball, turning infield. Looking to go over to the right-hand side for Fulham. Castagna got Bob out wide. Does use Oscar Bob now in that wide position. Back to King. As Castagna made the underlapping run. King looks to go wide. Beats Hee-Chan. Bob slightly infield. Now King towards the edge of the area, maybe a shooting chance. Bassey's lining one up of all people, but plays it over to Smith Rowe inside the box towards the byline. All he can do is win a corner.
Yeah, getting the tails back up. Fulham, it was good work from Bassey actually. I thought he was going to hit it. I did. He looked like he was about to unload one. I was thinking, please don't shoot. It was a Vincent Kompany moment. But he moved it to the left-hand side well. Emile Smith Rowe, I thought he was going to go first time himself, but took a touch, allowed the defender back into it. But they do have themselves a corner. Not been in the second half at all. 6th corner of the game for Fulham.
Taken short once more between Bob and Lukic. Lukic now to the edge of the area for Kevin. Into the box once more. Josh King couldn't get a shot off. Good tackle by Bueno. Mane's going to bring it away. Just clears it upfield. Looking for the run of Rodrigo Gomez, but it's slightly beyond him. There'll be an opportunity now to play the ball back forward, or play the ball forwards for Robinson from the throw-in, you'd think. Most options are marked. We've got Bassey, who's gone slightly deeper and deeper. Now a run from King, who he does use. King trying to skip away from the challenge from Gomez. Looked like Gomez might have gone into the back of him, and he has as well. Gomez must have made 4 or 5 fouls now without a yellow card. We haven't had a yellow card in the game, in fact, in 75 minutes. Second half has been relatively dull. Just the 5 shots, 3 for Wolves, 2 for Fulham, with the 1 on target that was Iwobi's effort, soft effort at the goalkeeper. Best chance of the half, without a doubt, has been Adam Armstrong's effort, which came off the post. And then you'd also say Mascara's header that went wide. If Wolves had found their shooting boots today, they could have scored 2 or 3. Nice feet from Bassey to get infield and away from Gomez, who's just made another foul. So a free kick for Fulham inside the opposition half. In the midfield third, you'd say, though. Yeah, it's just a silly swipe from Gomez, really. No one at the ball. I can't believe he's not been yellow carded, to be honest. And then Andre sends the ball away, but not sure the whistle had quite been blown. Diop on halfway, the deepest man back for Fulham. Fizzes one forward for King, who's been lively since coming on. Robinson infield. Plays it back to Bassey, who slips. Oricadore not quite sharp enough to get there, though. Ahead of Fulham's number 3. Back out to the right-hand side for Castagna now. Down the line for Bob. Bob goes back to get away from the defender. Passing options few and far between. He uses Jimenez. Nice passing move between Bob and then Castagna, but the Belgian was offside. And it's just, despite the changes, it's just not happening for Fulham.
It's not. It hasn't in open play. And yes, they have scored, but the thing is, they scored from the penalty spot. So in open play, it's just not gone right for them. Never looked convincing. It looks like it's Hail Mary time. I think it's Chukwueze and Harry Wilson, the 2 that dropped out. One of the 2 of the 3 changes from last week are going to come on, and I think that's timely as well. I think maybe, if anything, a bit too late. Should have come about 10 minutes ago or so. Two players that can definitely bring something going forward, because they have lacked so much. I thought Kevin or Jimenez may make a difference. They haven't. So they're absolutely right in bringing them 2 on. See if they can make a difference. They need 3 points, I think, Fulham, to have any shout of Europe.
Absolutely. And there's not going to have time to make the change yet, as Fulham have taken this goal kick short. Castagna deep. He's found a bit of space down the line, though, for King. He's done well to get away from Andre, but can't keep the ball. Ball's come infield. Again, Smith Rowe just couldn't quite keep it for Fulham. Mane moving forward. Hasn't got really any help out wide. Comes infield, but Smith Rowe wins it back for the Cottagers. Lovely flick from Kevin to see Lukic in a bit of space. Now there might be a chance for Fulham. Lukic almost looked like he'd made the challenge there, as the midfielder was coming to close him down. I think it was Mascara who made the tackle. Like I say, it was almost as if Lukic actually tackled him in the end. And Fulham have the ball back already. Anthony Robinson. Lukic is back to his feet, as is Mascara. Infield 2. Fulham's number 20. Poor pass out wide, sees Gomez intercept, and it really is poor, this match, to be honest. Possession just being ceded between both parties pretty quickly, and we're going to see the introduction of Harry Wilson and indeed Samuel Chukwueze as well. That'll be all of Fulham's changes. Smith Rowe's going to come off, who still just never really lived up to his potential.
No, he didn't. I always liked him at Arsenal. I thought Fulham was a bit of a weird step to take in his career, with all due respect to Fulham, but it hasn't really kicked on like I thought he would, unfortunately. And there we go, Chukwueze and Wilson comes on. If this doesn't work, I don't know what will.
Yeah, I mean, Harry Wilson, clearly the best player for Fulham, certainly the best player this year. Most goals and most assists, I believe, for the Cottagers. There's going to be 2 more changes for Wolves as well. He-Chan has been taken off for Bellegarde. So Jean-Ric now. Bellegarde off for He-Chan. It looked like there was going to be a second change for Wolves, but perhaps not. They still only used 2. So they've got 3 more to make, should they choose. And if Bellegarde's come on, they might be holding out for the draw, really, to impress the home fans, if it would. Andre asking a lot of Mateus Mane up against Bassi there. Bassi does indeed get there first, and then it's a foul. It's actually Bellegarde's first introduction to the match to go into the back of the Nigerian defender. So there's still just over 10 minutes left of regular time. Chukwueze came on for Oscar Bob, by the way. That was the final change for Fulham. Bob, who I thought had been decent, but I mean, now you look at that front four, who have all been changed: King, Wilson, Chukwueze and Jimenez. And of course, Kevin as well, coming on for Bursch. It's 5 attackers, really.
I think it's been improved as well since the start of the game. I mean, he changed that forward line for this game, but he's brought the better of the players on. So they got 10 minutes, Fulham, but they're running out of time. They haven't done near enough in the second half. They may just concede here. Oh.
Yeah, ball given away. It's just such an awful attempt on goal from Orikadore, straight into the hands of Leno. The quality of this game is seemingly getting worse and worse, despite the introductions, which should only improve the game. Good press on, you have to say, from Wolves. Robinson short of options, so has to go to his goalkeeper, who's being pressed. I think that's Wolfer, the left back for Wolves of all people. Well, that does mean there's now space on the right hand side for Castagna, who's got Wilson as a supporting man. Has he then been fouled? He has, so another free kick given away. It's just it's not getting any better, this game, I'll be honest.
No, and it looks like maybe a potential match winner on Merseyside. Looks like Sunderland have taken the lead against Everton. Sunderland with what, they'd half a chance of Europe, but drew 0-0 with Manchester United last week. Everton themselves in a strong position, but they may have just thrown this away, because Sunderland are up to 51 points and 2-1. It looks like Talby have given the 2-1 lead.
Might be a chance in the box now for Kevin on the left hand side. He's got away from Sk. Ball into the box again. Evades anyone in black for Fulham. Wilson plays it back to Chukwueze. Chukwueze back to Wilson on the edge of the area. Wilson goes for a shot with his left boot straight at the goalkeeper. And
I think I didn't want to say it for a while, but we are definitely staring a 1-1 draw in the face. I thought that in about the 55th, 60th minute, and we're in the 82nd now, and there's not been much change there. Wilson, you can see what he's doing on the 180 swivel edge of the box, on that left foot, trying to wrap it. Wrapped it too much along the floor, no elevation on it. Easy for the keeper, but Wolves might just want to go out and win this one. And you just get the sense.
Yeah, you do indeed. Wouldn't be outrageous to say Wolves might go and win it. Oh, Rodrigo Gomez at the far post. It was a lovely ball in. Rodrigo Gomez, who has arguably been Wolves' best attacking outlet, really. I think you'd be harsh to take that away from Mateus Mane, but Rodrigo Gomez has seen so much of the ball on that right hand side, and I think for me he's done really well at bringing it forward for Wolves on every occasion. Now it's Fulham attacking once more, though, down the left hand side. Ball goes out of play, looking for Robinson, and Fulham in particular are getting worse and worse.
Yeah, they are. They're going forward. It's just so unconvincing. I'm more convinced Wolves will score than Fulham, and that's no disrespect to Wolves, but the season they've had. Fulham themselves, it's not been great, has it? They've got Newcastle next week at home. Newcastle aren't playing for anything. Fulham might not be. After this performance, ball in, Rokadare just over his head. Looked like he was about to head that in to make it 2-1. They've been the better team, Wolves, and last game in the Premier League, I'm just getting this sense that I can just sense a last minute winner just to give them something to shout about. Looks like we're going to have some more substitutions. It looks like Bueno is coming on for Wolves, the attacking left back, so it may just be Wolf Dane to come off, and there's a man down injured, so you're not missing anything, but looks like a couple of players coming on, including Lima, I believe.
Yeah, it looks like Pedro Lima and Hugo Bueno are going to be introduced. So we'll see what changes they make, as there is a break in play for some players to grab a drink. Well, that's not what the break in play is for, sorry, it's for an injury in the middle of the park. Just trying to work out who that is. Is it Wolfer? I think it is, yeah, the Wolves left back, while Jose Sarr and the referee exchange a few smiles. So Wolfer's going to come off the pitch. You'd think it's going to be a like-for-like change with Breno coming on then. Can't imagine Breno would play anywhere else. Rodrigo Gomez is going to go off for Pedro Lima, who I think has made a good argument for Wolves' best player, and you'd maybe even say man of the match, which feels a bit weak, if I'm honest, but there's no standout, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's the level we're at, unfortunately. There's no underestimating it. It's been a poor watch. We've had 2 goals, but in overall quality of play, it's been low. Tired legs, tired players, tired minds, long season maybe, making excuses. It's not been great. 5 minutes to go. For all the world, you'll say this is going to end 1-1, but you just never know.
Still 5.5 minutes left of regular time. We'll probably get up to 5 minutes for stoppage, as you'd imagine, with all the substitutions. The brief stoppage there, which was a bit of an injury as well as substitutions. Jimenez trying to play the ball back to gosh knows who. Wasn't obvious, I'm afraid. In fact, it's just taken away by Fulham as well. From the Wolves man in the middle of the park once more. Chukwueze over to Anthony Robinson, still well within their own half now. Our Fulham, Castagna plays it back to Diop inside his own half. Diop and Bassi, the two furthest players back for Fulham, as you'd expect. Robinson now in line with them as the ball is on the other side of the pitch, but plenty of space on this left-hand side for Robinson if they use him. Bassi, he's now going to be closed down by the newly introduced Lima. Ball forward to Harry Wilson, who takes a heavy touch. It wasn't necessarily a kind ball for him. There might be a break now on for Wolves. Bellegarde over to Bueno, who's just been introduced. Mane seems to have gone down and picked something up, not sure. Bueno trying to go on the outside of Castagna to get a cross in. Does so. Does get the ball into the box. It's not a bad ball. Lima was there, got his shot all wrong. Almost sent it straight back to Bueno on the other side of the pitch. That's a poor pass out then from Chukwueze, which went straight to Gomez on the edge of the box, who couldn't capitalise. One ball forward from Fulham is sent back from whence it came by Santiago Bueno. Josh King does well to get the ball forward to Kevin, who is offside.
Yeah, and that just sums it up, doesn't it? It doesn't need to be. It doesn't need to be offside, and he is. Poor play in the end. 2 times there, Fulham giving the ball away in really dangerous positions, flirting with it. It's tight, you know. That's a tight decision. And I won't say he's away down that left-hand side, Kevin, but he's in a lot of room. But yeah, he's maybe just strayed, but it's not been good enough from Fulham, has it? They've really lost their steam at the back end of this season, lost their way. They were so good at the start of the season, electric team, no one wanted to face them. They were high up the table, I believe they were in the top 8, top 6 at one point, up there, but faded away at the most important time, unfortunately, and it's cost them.
Has indeed. It looks like the game is going to go away from both sides here. Wolves are probably doing better absolutely have done better with the ball they've had. They've had far less of the ball in this one. Harry Wilson now getting forward. There might be a... Blimey, I just had to stop because the shot was so poor. That might come through our studio window here in Leeds, to be honest. It was that bad from Wilson. Absolutely ballooned it away from... I was going to say away from the goal, but away from the ground.
Yeah, it wasn't close, was it? And they're not cornered them, that stadium, so it might have just gone out of it. That's we're looking at Marcus Silverman out of contract in the summer. So is Harry Wilson. So it might be his last away day in a Fulham shirt, but one to forget, cutting in that left. We picked him up as well, didn't we? The 2 players coming on may just make a difference. Well, he's had 2 attempts, one under hit and one massively over, so hasn't brought anything to this game, just like every Fulham substitution. But maybe a chance for Fulham to nick it late on. They've got a free kick inside the Fulham half. If they launch this into the box, may ask some questions.
Yeah, Fulham have won the last away days of the season. It doesn't look like it's to be here. 2 minutes left of regular time. Obviously yet to see how much more is going to be added. I don't think it's going to be a terrific amount. I'd be surprised if it's more than five. I'd be surprised if it's more than 5 minutes, to be honest, thinking about it. We've just had a few subs. A slight stoppage now of about 30 seconds or so. Of course, it's up to Thomas Kirk, the referee. So an opportunity now for Mane to get the ball forward. Fulham's line is a good 5 yards off the edge of the box. The ball does go into the box, though. Oricadore is up for it. Almost climbed on the back of his Colombian defender, Mosquera. And then there's a trip on Calvin Bassi, as Andre interestingly throws the ball right up into the air. Brentford have equalised at home to Crystal Palace. Huge goal, perhaps, in the race for Champions League and European football. You'd think with Aston Villa's high position in the table, it will just be the Europa League they're fighting for in 6th place. 6th place only gets Champions League if Aston Villa win the Europa League and finish 5th. Now, what's going to happen here? Josh King over to the left-hand side for Kevin. Kevin into the box. Checks on the inside. It's a weak shot, which is blocked anyway by Santiago Bueno. Then the ball lands on the head of Sasha Lukic. There might be a chance for Mane to get away, but his touch around Castagna is poor, and Diop can clean up. Josh King over to Bassi. Bassi out wide to Anthony Robinson, who goes infield to Josh King, who's tackled, is taken away from him by Gomez. Good work from him. Really always busy in the midfield for Wolves, of course. Kevin towards the box for Josh King. That's surely going to be a free kick on the edge of the area, and it is. This might be the last chance for Fulham.
Yeah, Harry Wilson range as well. He can hit them. Let's have a look. Yeah, it's just a stray leg. It's lazy. It's a bit of a toe ender on the ball, just maybe from Andre, but there's not enough. He went through his man to get there. And Harry Wilson has the chance, like I say, on his last away day for Fulham, maybe, to rubber stamp it with a last-minute winner. Oh, there's been no sign of it whatsoever. They scored their goal for a set piece. It may take the second one to be for a set piece as well. 4 minutes added.
4 minutes have added, and we've played 30 seconds of that already. Wow, Jimenez has stood over this. Did forget he was a free kick taker, of course. As mentioned, Wolves' top scorer in the Premier League with 40 goals. Has never scored against them, though. Harry Wilson is also stood over it. There's the left-footed option, just to be a decoy, you'd think. He's got to be shooting territory, this, really. Jimenez has a problem with something, not sure what, if it's the wall. Jose Sa, 4-man wall with a draft excluder, which seemed to go out of fashion, but has certainly come back in. Rumours of a goal at Everton. Sunderland have gone 3-1 up. So that's probably Everton's chances of Europe over, you'd think. We'll take a look at the live table. Shot comes in, it's straight out the wall from Raul Jimenez. And Fulham's game goes from bad to worse. As it stands, Everton 11th on 49 points, Chelsea on 49 points and ahead of them with a goal in hand. Sunderland are really in the race for Europe now. Again, 9th will only get European football if Villa win the Europa League, and finish 5th. To do that, they'll have to lose on the last day and Liverpool win. Liverpool do have the better goal difference. Wilson forward into the box. Oricadore, of all people, heads away. Still back there doing some defensive work. We've now played the 2 minutes of the 4, although that first minute was spent watching Jimenez stand over the free kick, so it wouldn't be ridiculous for Thomas Kirk to play 5. Now on the right hand side for Fulham. Ball into the box wasn't awful from Chukwueze. Bassi's asking something of the referee. I'm not sure if he felt a pull, but he didn't go to ground. It didn't look obvious. Don't think a penalty would have been a fair shout whatsoever. Bassi battling with Gomez to win the ball. Sees the Brazilian fall to the ground, but fairly. Now free kick for Fulham. Kevin takes it quickly on halfway. Last chance really for Fulham to get the ball forward, and because of results elsewhere, if they win, they really are in the race for Europe as well. Okadori now going forward. Looks like Wolves might have one last chance. Potentially really good ball in behind. Just too close to the goalkeeper, Leno. There might now be a chance for Fulham to counter. Kevin on the left-hand side. That pass just overhit. It's Josh King, in fact. Now Kevin on the left. Sliding challenge comes in from Mosquera. Misses it. Kevin, what can he do? Into the box. Good stop by Santiago Bueno. Mosquera keeping him honest. Josh King back to his feet and on the ball now. Back out to Kevin once more. Kevin goes for a cross, which is straight into the hands of Jose Sa. A minute left of the 4.
Yeah, not going right for them, is it? Unfortunately. May just have a late goal at Ellen Road as well. Looks like Leeds may have just won the game at home to Brighton, so that puts up a real spanner in the works for Europe, and that's even more of a kicker for Fulham. We may just get our first card of the afternoon as well.
Yeah, Europe no longer possible because of results elsewhere for Leeds. But Brighton, of course, it does affect them indeed. A goal at Leeds. Take a look at the Premier League as it stands then. That has changed things big time for Brighton and Brentford both losing. Bournemouth will be licking their lips. They're ahead. Are Bournemouth, of the pair of them, of course, by 2 points adrift of Brighton and 3 points ahead of Brentford. So great news for them. Ball into the box, attempted straight into the hands of Leno. We have now played 4 minutes of added time, but like I say, it's not ridiculous to play a few more seconds at least. Ball forward to Chukwueze. He goes long towards looking for Jimenez. It's such a poor ball though. Krejci easily intercepts. Lima forward to Mateus Mane, who tries to poke it through for Orokadori, but that ball's also poor. Bird Leno gets the game going quickly. There's still time left according to Thomas Kirk. Kevin on the left hand side. Can Fulham produce a last gasp winner in this one? Kevin seems to have beaten his man well. Surely that's a foul by at least one of the two Wolves players who went after Kevin. Referee's not giving it, and that'll give Bueno a chance to clear the ball upfield. Orokadori wrestling with Bassi. That's certainly an interesting physical matchup between the two. It's gone out for a Fulham throw. Bassi takes it quickly over to Diop. We have now played 5 minutes, and Thomas Kirk says that will be that for this Premier League campaign at the Molineux. The last match that we played in the Premier League for at least a season at Molineux. Wolves can be proud of themselves. They fought well to keep the point that they've earned. So it finishes Wolverhampton Wanderers 1, Fulham 1.